know?
at least he's white, and
You
that's
know
gonna
what's
be all
crazy
right.
is my son has never accused me of fucking another family member. Isn't that wild? Can you imagine? Well, it's probably hard for you to imagine what life would be like not having family members accuse you of incest, but it's pretty crazy out here. I guess in
Yeah,
Rhode
okay.
Island you guys just
People
do
say
that though,
things when
right?
they're confused. There's no
Yeah,
basis for
when they're
that.
confused. Do you have family members that get confused about which family member
Do
you're
you
fucking
tell?
telling
Do
their
you tell your
common?
son that that your wife fucks anyone who walks in the door now?
Better. There
I
we
don't
go.
talk to my 12-year-old kid about who she's fucking. That's really weird. Do you talk to your
But
little
you don't
children
think
about
he
who they get
knows
fucked?
that? You don't think he knows? You don't think he knows? This is like you do all this content where you openly, I don't know if it's your
Hey,
mother, but like whatever.
listen what
This
I
No,
say.
I know we don't. I
total
don't talk to him
whore.
about that. I would ask if you tell your children, but they can probably hear you fucking your daughter through the walls. So I guess they would just be silent, huh?
Come say that to my face and see how long you live. Come say it to my face. Come say it to my face. I'm saying it. I'm inviting you. I'll tell you my address. Come say
Yeah.
it to my face.
I mean, I could probably just look it up in the court records for your little misdemeanor, huh?
Yeah, you can look it up in the court records. I'll send it to you privately. You show up here and say that to my face. That's my challenge to you.
Say it to his
Awesome. I'll let you know.
face.
I'll be there ASAP. All right. Okay. Well, I make sure if I should talk to you, I'll be at the top of a flight of stairs, so you can never catch me. Okay.
Yeah, you'll be running. You're right.
What?
You'll never come within 100 feet of me.
What?
Or do it and be a man. Do it.
How many cigarettes have you
You
needed
want to
just to
talk
get through
shit
this
to
one
me?
convo?
You
You're
want to
so
fucking take
stressed
my
right now.
reputation and do that to it? Come do it
You
to my face.
literally have no reputation to attack.
Was
Like I
this
said,
guy one-shotting
this is
me?
just doing for fun, right? I'm not getting anything out of this. You're not losing anything.
Yeah,
You
you're a
literally have
gossip.
nothing to
You're
lose.
a gossipy little bitch who destroys people's reputations whenever you feel like it for entertainment. You don't think there's going to be any consequences. Well, you are going to run into someone who is going to come hunt you down and kill you for saying shit like that. And it's not going to be me, but you're going to run into the wrong person at some point. And I'll laugh because I'll say, because you don't know what it's like. You've never really lived in the world. You don't know that there are people who will
This
follow
motherfucker sounds
through
like.
when you say shit like that to them.
I'll defer to you there. I'm sure there are a lot of unique experiences you've collected
Why
that I
can
don't
I?
know anything about, and I
Yeah,
hope to never
there
know.
are. There are. I've testified against the mafia.
Wow.
Yeah, have you?
No, I've also never fucked my child before, though.
Right, you can keep saying that. Say it to my fucking face. I wouldn't surprise if you fucked Darius up the ass.
You couldn't catch me, dude. I'm like unironic. Like you literally are.
He sucks your dick every day, so I mean, you guys might have a full-on thing. You brought the toys.
Why are you?
Maybe he brought them so he could be down there in Florida and use them on
Why
you.
do you actually own a butt plug and a strap on when you don't have sex with anyone else outside of Grace? In that house.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Really weird.
I do not own
You
a
told,
butt plug.
I remember we talked about. You literally
You asked me to show you.
I remember you told me verbatim. You were like, I couldn't get any girls from
Christ.
the app because I couldn't get girls over at my house. I remember you verbatim telling me you couldn't get girls over. You haven't had sex in a while. Why do you own sex?
Yeah, that's true. I haven't had sex in a
What is the
Christ.
butt plug?
Other than Destiny's mother. But I won't call that sex. It's like therapy for her. She's a sad woman. I mean, look at the guy.
I mean, to be fair,
Such
anybody
a
that
fucking
fucks you
loser.
is probably pretty sad. Like,
Such a fucking loser. I get it. I'm like, Mrs. Bennell, I'm sorry. You know, and she cries and cries and cries, and I fuck her up the ass, and the dad licks it all up. I get it. I mean, it's like I'm trying to help. You know what I mean? But I'm the bad guy, right?
I'm pretty sure if Grace went to the doctor and just took a picture of you and said, "This is my dad," that'd be enough for a prescription for enough Prozac to last her lifetime. So,
Dude, good one. You really nailed it, Steven.
thanks. Not as well as you nail your
No,
daughter.
all you have is you fuck your daughter. Go ahead, say it. Anything more creative, it just falls flat. You suck. Just say it. Say you fuck your daughter. Go ahead. That's all you got. That's all you got. Now you're gonna go running away because you don't got shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of hard to top that one.
One
I don't know.
more.
I can hit you with this more
You think
incriminating.
that was funny? That sucked. The dick.
I think it's pretty
joke.
funny.
Oh,
I thought it was
stupid.
pretty good.
So
Yeah,
lame.
I think it's pretty funny.
But this dick sucker will laugh.
You've sucked on more of this stream than I think me or Darius have combined. What cigarette is that? What are
Really?
you on right now?
Really? Then let's publish it. Let's publish it and see.
Publish what? How many cigarettes you're huffing down right now?
Did you think that was funny?
I'm just asking.
Let's publish this little interaction. I don't know. Maybe it is already
No, I'm
published.
good. I don't need you to.
Let's clip it. Let's clip it and see
No, I'm good.
who people think won.
Okay.
You think you're winning?
Do you really try
All right,
and
let's keep
segue
doing it. Let's keep doing it. I'll go all night.
there like that? You can D tier. You could do a little better.
What's that?
You tried to segue that into gaining clout and getting clicks off of this. You could do.
Well, that's the only reason. That is the only reason he's here, right? Is he's there looking for clicks.
Come on, you could do
Oh,
better
okay.
than
So I'm just looking for clicks.
Yeah, of course you are. Why the fuck else would you be here in front of some random 34-year-old homo blue-haired guy calling you a daughter fucker over and over again? Unless you have no
That's 'cause I'm
self-respect.
trying to help you.
You're
I'm
not
trying to help.
anybody. You're trying to help yourself.
Yeah,
That's
I
your
am.
whole
I'm trying to
life
help you, and I care about
helping
Darius,
yourself
and I was trying to
over and
help
over
him
again
too.
at the
And then he brings
expense
his
of
butt-
every single person
daddy
around you, at
over.
the expense of your ex-wife, at the expense of your children, at the expense of your past
Not my
business
ex-wife.
partners, at the expense of literally everybody around you. Of course, it's trying to help yourself. That's what your whole life is.
I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't work for me. It works for me on every level. Why wouldn't I want to succeed? Is
It
there a
doesn't
problem
work
with me
for you on
succeeding?
any level, though. Your family's in shambles. You're a laughing stock on the internet. You're juggling weird shit.
You're not a
forward
laughing
over
stock.
domestic-
I'm not a laughing stock on the internet, but people are confused. But they're going to get it right.
Why do you let your daughter smoke cigarettes underage?
How does she even get the cigarettes? Real quick, how does she?
Well,
get
if you
the-
talk- if you
Wait,
talk-
wait,
if you
wait,
talk
wait,
about-
wait,
Well,
wait,
you talk about.
how does she get the
Make him answer that.
cigarettes?
Wait, make him answer that. He glamorizes, talks about glamorizing drugs. My kid doesn't do any drugs. Why do you let your daughter smoke cigarettes
How
in
does she
the
get
state of Rhode
access-
Island where it's illegal?
How does she get the cigarettes anyway?
I'm not.
She's 20
She's an
years old.
adult.
Well, she doesn't have any
In
friends.
adult-
She
in
doesn't have
Rhode
any friends
Island-
to
in
go
Rhode
buy it
Island,
for her,
you
and
gotta
she
be-
can't go and get it herself. How does she?
In Rhode Island, you'd be 21 years old to smoke cigarettes, and she does it on stream.
Yes. So I don't
Right.
know how she's getting the
And
cigarettes.
she may drink a beer too. Steven.
Oh,
That's
drink a beer,
true.
alcohol? So you have flagrant
I don't
disregard for
provide
the laws
either
of
of
your
those
state.
things for her. I
Doesn't
do not
matter. Still
provide
illegal.
either of
Doesn't
those
matter. Still,
Steven, I
still
don't provide
illegal.
either of those things for her. So she is committing a crime by doing those things, and I think a lot of young people do, and I think it's fine.
Wow.
It's her life.
I feel like you should care more about your sexual partners and their health. I guess you know.
I mean, there are such things as relationships. Are you either of you guys aware of that? Telling the whole world that your sexual pleasures will lead to murder is not Riz.
How's the relationship with your wife, Ben?
I don't have a wife, but I thought I had a wife. But it's great.
How's the relationship with your ex-wife?
It's not my ex-wife.
What is she then?
That's a good question. I call her my psycho ex-girlfriend / baby mama.
So you were never married?
Right.
So she's just an ex-girlfriend.
Right, but we thought we were married. Yeah.
So you have 6 children out of wedlock then. Yikes.
Nope, that's not how it worked.
Yikes. Oh, so then she was your wife. So then she's your ex-wife?
No, that's not how it works in the eyes of the civil and canonical law. If you thought you were married, those are legitimate children.
Oh, so you thought you were married, so then she was your wife at one point, correct?
No, I thought she was my wife. Do you know how logic works, Steven?
I'm trying to figure that out. So she either was or she
Yeah,
wasn't.
you should
Which
try to
one
figure
was
out how
it?
logic
Was she your wife or was she not your wife?
She was in the eye. She was putatively my wife. We got married.
Okay, so she was your wife.
No,
Oh,
you're
okay.
Catholic, aren't you? Were you raised Catholic, Steven?
Tell me, was she your wife? or
Steven,
was she
Steven,
not
Steven,
your wife?
Wait a second. Wait a second. You were raised Catholic, right?
I'm trying to figure out if she was your wife or
Steven,
she was
you
your
were
wife.
raised Catholic. Is that correct? I'm not trying to trick you.
One of
I'm
the
not trying to-
3 foundational laws of logic is called the law of non-contradiction. You can't simultaneously have 2 properties that are contradictory. So I'm trying to figure out,
Right.
was she your wife or was she not your wife?
Okay, Steven, but you were aware of the Catholic tradition. Is that correct?
Okay, Benjamin,
somewhat
I'm
aware.
trying to figure out if she was your wife.
All right, you're not going to answer that question? I'm going to help you through it.
I don't need your help with anything. The only thing I would
can
ever
do
go to you for help for is tips on how to fuck a daughter, and I don't have one, so I don't need any help from you. So I'm just curious,
And I'll
was
give
she
you
your wife?
tips on how to fuck your mother, if you'd like
Was
to.
she? I don't want to fuck my mom either. I don't know why you're fucking
Well,
your
I
mom.
mean,
That's
some
not
Hold a
parents
second.
are
You,
exhausted.
you have a lot of experience with fucking your mom. Is that something you're gonna give me tips on?
No,
just
your
curious.
mom.
You have been kicked by
Your mom.
Battle Eye. Recent query timeout.
Okay,
What?
that's fine with me. I mean,
Timeout what?
Benjamin,
tired.
come
I'm
on, tell
exhausted.
me here.
She's-
Were you?
She's a very demanding woman.
What the fuck? Timeout? What are you talking about?
No, your mother's a very demanding woman.
Ben, can you tell me?
Yeah.
Were you married or were you not married?
I mean, your dad likes licking it up afterwards and everything. I mean, I like
fuck
them.
my
They're
dad?
nice people, you know what I mean? But like,
I mean, are you admitted to be a
help them out
homo? Is
quite
that
a
what you're
bit.
saying now? You're more bisexual than I am. Jeez.
Because I fuck your mother up the ass? Why? Is she
You're
trans?
talking about my dad licking up cum? That's a little gay, dude.
I don't know what to say about your dad. I mean, he enjoys it. He watches and he licks it up.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you are enjoying your male-male, female threesomes. You know, I haven't had one yet, but you're willing to.
No, he
explore.
comes in afterwards and cleans up.
Oh, you got a whole arrangement?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to
what
help
was
him
the-
out. I consider it therapy.
What was the arrangement with your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or?
What was the? Oh, well, I was going to try to tell you on a
Yeah.
serious note that
Yeah, tell me, I'm
there's
serious.
a thing that's an annulment, right? There's an annulment process. You're aware of that.
So you were never
People can
married.
think
then. So
that
there
they were
wasn't your
married
wife.
but weren't married, right? You're aware of that as a.
So
as a
I'm trying to figure
Catholic.
out then. So then you weren't married.
Yes, people can think they were married, and yet the basic like things that had to be there weren't
Mhm.
there. You're
Okay.
like you clearly are not married.
Uh-huh.
You say, well, I have this piece of paper. You clearly didn't have what marriage. And marriage needs to involve a mature consent that is exclusive between two people and is
Uh-huh.
open to having children. You had none of that.
Gotcha.
You have
So
none
then,
of that.
so then you guys
So you don't
weren't
have a
really
marriage
married.
at all. So
because
yeah,
of the, because
your
of the
marriage
annulment,
can
you
be
guys weren't
annulled in the
married.
eyes of the church in 2 seconds. No question about it. You don't even have
Okay.
anything
So then-
resembling a marriage.
That means you have 6 children out of wedlock. Holy
Nope.
shit, that's
Nope.
insane.
No, that's not true.
6 children out of wedlock. Do they have your last name at least, or?
What is this, medieval shaming? I mean, okay, I have
Well, I'm
6
just- I mean, fathering
children. That's
6
not true in the eyes of the law
bastard
nor in
children.
the eyes of the
6
church.
bastard children, Benjamin. That's insane. One that you fuck. That's wild. What a collection of characters. And a crazy ex-girlfriend/wife. I'm still trying to figure out what she is
Baby
or
mama.
was, or
Crazy
a baby
ex-girlfriend
mama
slash
who
baby mama.
you used to be married to, but then you realized you were never married to.
No,
which is why it's
you
6
don't even
children out
understand
of
the
wedlock.
basic principles of
Well,
logic.
it sounds like you
Steven.
don't even understand the principles of logic.
No,
So
it
then-
doesn't sound like that. It sounds like I understand them really well.
Oh,
that
then
people
then
can-
elucidate. Yeah.
that
Were you married or
people
were you not?
All
Were
right,
you
I'd
married
like
or were
to
you not?
elucidate. Can
Yeah.
you
Were
stop-
you married or
can
were
you
you not?
stop?
Well, that's a really simple
Okay.
question. I can tell you if I was married or not at any point in my
All
life.
right, let's
if you
do
wanna
it.
know.
Let's do it logically.
Okay, yeah, let's go
If-
ahead logically.
Okay, can
Uh-huh,
someone
okay.
can someone sign a contract in which they actually are not really capable of, or they're misled about what is going on, and that therefore that contract is voided?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what happened.
So then
what's
you
the
weren't really
question?
married. It was voided. It was never.
That's right.
Yeah. So then
It
there were
hasn't
6
been
children.
officially voided.
Yeah.
but
Then there
yeah.
were 6 children that were born out of wedlock.
No, I mean, yeah, you could say that technically,
We're getting closer. Don't worry, I can walk you there. I'm a patient man. I know
but
you
they're
walk
not
slowly.
considered. They're
That's
not
fine.
considered to be illegitimate children. But I mean, who cares? Fine, you want to call them illegitimate
if they're
children?
not
That's fine with
if
me.
they're not considered to be illegitimate children, then that means that you were considered to have a legitimate marriage. So which one is it, Benjamin?
No, that's not
Right?
true. That's not
so
true.
then either the marriage was legitimate and the children were legitimate, or the marriage was illegitimate and the children were illegitimate.
Oh my god.
That's kinda how
I mean,
that
this
works.
Is real hair splitting.
That's
no,
no, it's not.
no,
hairspray.
there's
It's
no
pretty
shade
obvious.
thrown,
Uh-huh.
and it's not a sin when I had sex with who I thought was
Uh-huh.
my wife and her with me. You can't say, oh, you could say you've had premarital sex or
Well,
extramarital sex.
no, I wouldn't say
Okay,
that
but
was a
there was
sin, right?
ignorance there.
I would
so
say the
there's
sin
an
is probably
ignorance,
more
so-
like fucking the daughter. That's probably more of a sin than the.
Yeah, right. You can use that in one. But I want you to
Mhm.
show up here
Yeah.
and use that line on me, and then call the morgue, call the undertaker, and I'll call a priest for you, right? And it'll
No,
be cheap.
why didn't you say this when I was there with Darius?
Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Wait, why
Well,
didn't you say
can
this?
keep doing it if you
Why,
want.
why, did, why didn't you
Make
say
me
any
a
of the,
tough
why
guy.
didn't you say any of the shit to me when I was there with Darius a few days ago?
What shit?
Why didn't you talk shit when I was there with Darius a few days ago talking shit to you?
You were here with Darius?
Yeah.
What do you mean you were here with Darius?
Well, I thought I was there. So that's kind of like I was there, right?
No.
Wait, but if I thought I was there, doesn't that kind of mean I was there, or is that?
I mean, I guess you're trying to make some kind of a point. What's the
Well,
point?
no, if I thought I was there, then it kind of counts as me being there. Kind of like if you thought you were married, that counts as your kids.
Right,
not
I
being
understand
born
your
out of
point.
wedlock,
It's
right?
a stupid
Yeah, I know.
point.
Oh, okay.
It's a
sorry,
stupid
I
point.
understand.
You weren't
Well,
here.
And then you weren't married, so it's 6.
If you
bastard
were
children.
here and you said
They-
those things in front of me, then you wouldn't be on this
Bastard.
earth any longer.
Children,
But-
6 of them. That's wild.
Well, whatever. You can.
How
you can
many
say that if
children do you
like.
think somebody should be able to have out of wedlock before they get negatively judged by other people in society? What do you think should be the limit on that? So I'm at 1. I wasn't married to my kid's mom. You're at 6. What do you think should the cutoff be?
What do you mean?
Like, what should the cutoff be before it's like you probably shouldn't be giving advice to other young men on how to live their lives if you've had 6 children out of wedlock with an ex-girlfriend/wife that hates you?
People make mistakes.
That's 6 mistakes. That's a lot of mistakes, Ben.
No, those aren't mistakes. Those aren't
Really?
mistakes.
Okay, the
Those are
business wasn't a
wonderful kids.
mistake. The
Those are
misdemeanor
wonderful
charges
kids.
wasn't a
And
mistake.
if you
Your
say
daughter
they're mistakes,
smoking, yeah.
I will personally kill you. If you come here and say they're mistakes, I will personally kill you.
I feel like the
guarantee
only
that.
person you're gonna kill is your own kids with a secondhand smoke, Benjamin. If I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not
Oh,
healthy
now
for
we're
the
pearl
kids.
clutching. You're such
Not,
a.
not
you're
healthy for the
such a
kids,
fucking
Benjamin.
homo.
Not healthy to
It's
expose them to all that
unbelievable.
secondhand smoke. You know.
Oh, secondhand smoke. Okay, that's what
Pretty
we're gonna
bad.
go
Pretty bad.
with. Rape,
Not a,
accusations of rape and incest and secondhand smoke.
well, for rape,
Okay,
that's only statutory. To be fair,
focus.
right? Like,
I don't really want to
it's
have
a
a
little
dick.
bit of.
I don't really
Yeah.
want to have a dick size contest, Steven. I'm
Yeah,
trying to help
really?
you out. I mean, if you want to just keep losing, then keep losing.
That's true. I don't know if I want
want
to
to
have
be
a
here to
dick
help.
size contest with you. Maybe I should ask Grace to see if I measure up, huh?
All right, that's the same. That's the same point. Say that to my fucking face, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Say it to his fucking face.
Right. Yeah. Book a flight. I'll tell you my address. You could be here in. You could probably be here in 4 hours. Come say that to my face, and I'll record myself punching your fucking skull right in. How about
Okay,
that?
Benji. All right, Benji.
Why don't you do it, big man?
I'll think about it. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be there. Maybe I won't. Who knows? You know.
No, you won't. I know because you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're a pussy. Yes.
Is this another cigarette?
Yeah, that's another one. He's getting really stressed out in this conversation.
Jesus.
Well, mother and grandmother are the two gays are counting the cigarettes. Guys, grow up here. You know, you're
I
losing.
mean, it's funny.
That's all you've got left.
Smoking through those cigarettes, one for each child's life you've ruined, I guess, huh?
Not funny, but whatever.
Well, it's not funny. It's tragic,
This
really.
dick sucker will laugh. No, I mean no one else is.
Yeah, like I said, you sucked on more of the stream than either me or him have.
That's not true.
That's pretty true. We're watching
I'm
you do it
wiping
right
the
now.
floor with you, kid.
Puff,
I mean,
puff.
I want to be friends with you, Destiny. I mean, if you want to keep losing, then keep interacting this way. But if you don't think you're having a Thorpocalypse right now, you are.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to get any better until you just sort of lean into it a little bit. But if you want to, if you think you can beat Dad, then keep them coming, and I'll keep flooring you.
You can ask a real question, but ask it. Go.
Why did you and Grace freak out the moment that Darius talked to your son, and your son?
To lose internet? Yeah. What is happening right now?
You're
I
losing.
mean, it's funny. But
That's all you've got left.
smoking through those cigarettes, one for each child's life you've ruined, I guess, huh?
Not funny, but whatever.
Well, it's not funny. It's tragic,
This
really.
dick's up for a laugh. No, I mean no one else is.
Yeah, like I said, you sucked on more of the stream than either me or him have.
That's not true.
That's pretty true. We're watching
I'm
you do it
wiping
right
the
now.
floor with you, kid.
Puff,
I mean,
puff.
I want to be friends with you, Destiny. I mean, if you want to keep losing, then keep interacting this way. But if you don't think you're having a Thorpocalypse right now, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's not going to get any better until you just sort of lean into it a little bit. But if you want to, if you think you can beat Dad, then keep them coming, and I'll keep flooring you.
Why did you and Grace freak out the moment that Darius talked to your son, and your son accused you of fucking your daughter?
Where's the evidence that we freaked out? And he didn't. He accused. If you watch that carefully, he accused Grace of sending me what he said was an inappropriate emoji. Hey, wait, I can't talk. All right, so you can say things like that, and I can't even. Okay.
Welcome.
That's how evil works.
So what's the what is the grooming thing?
Well,
Grooming thing?
Or what's up with
no,
it?
I
Or do you
mean,
want to?
so there's, I mean, I'm just gonna,
If you don't want to,
I'm just gonna tell you because
that's probably the one thing.
and I think it's disgusting, but
Tell him. Tell him.
she does stuff with my dad, and I know that
Oh.
she does with my dad because they've had conversations with me where he's said that she orally rapes him.
Oh, shit.
Trying to like cover up, like trying to like.
Alright, now where the fuck is this last fire thing? Maybe here?
You fuckers are going to be held accountable because when
You fuckers are gonna be held. Oh my god.
But when you do that, you will be held
Jesus.
accountable for how you've used words. Now, if you're going to say something like that to a man, the very least you could do is allow him to respond. Now, my son was confused. He did see a text. I grant you, he saw a text from Grace to me that probably
Emoji. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I know, right?
A eggplant emoji in it.
An
Okay.
eggplant emoji?
And his mind, because his mother put it in his head, his mind that confirmed this idea that he was the victim of something.
Can you go back? Can we go back to the images on your
He was the victim of something.
your contact list with Grace real quick?
A retard dad.
Can you open up your
The
phone?
images on my contact list with Grace.
Yeah, can you go
I'm
to
not your fucking bitch, Darius. I'm not your bitch. What
I'm
do you
not your fucking bitch.
Give me free shit, so.
Oh, Drew.
Uh,
Oh,
I
you're
took the money I made
finesse.
from you guys. I got a literally.
Yeah, Benjamin. You understand? You got kind of finesse.
hey,
Oh, okay, so
Hi
we
there.
as creators benefit from the interaction more than Darius.
Yeah, I know. I
didn't.
know my
That's why
life.
what are you doing awake?
So
I made. Wait, I don't. Did you actually?
my family
Wait,
success.
is Grace going to LA?
Oh,
For Grace to go to LA for something that I proposed that isn't even gonna happen.
Oh no, she's not going to LA. Oh no, there's no way.
Yeah, she's going there.
She's
and
not
we're
going.
trying to get her siblings to go with her and her mother.
Oh, you were trying
what are you
to
doing?
base.
Oh wait, is Benjamin gonna be going on that trip too?
You can't legally.
Ooh, wait, why
No,
can't
I
you?
can. I can travel freely.
No, you can't leave with the kids. Bro.
Saying hi.
Some
Hi.
people, but I have never been served.
Well, it'll happen soon. Trust me.
Thank you for saying hi.
Good luck.
Oh boy, that's some detective work. What
Not
I've
really
been
detective work.
seeing.
Just people.
Just going to sleep.
Maybe, but a no contact order doesn't mean you can't leave the state.
When I was there, you unironically made.
Okay.
You guys are handing me like
Sweet dreams, baby. Love you.
verbally, in terms of humor, and in terms of clout. I admit it,
I mean, it's probably humorous.
but I'm not sucking either of your dicks. I'm housing you. I'm stepping on your heads.
I literally, my dick is all the way in your body, and I'm holding you up right now by the throbbing of my cock. That's the only thing that's keeping you on.
Even I,
Right
you know,
right
that's
now. That is
that's
literally
more like
what's
what your
happening right
mom
now.
sends
You are
me late
literally.
at
You
night.
understand that I have made you. I dragged you out of whatever fucking bed you were in to get you on camera just so that you can come and listen to what I'm saying. That's how much control I have over you right now. Right now, I'm literally determining your bedtime right now because you're not gonna leave this call until I do. I can stay.
That's
here for
Well,
absolutely
thanks
true.
for stopping by.
I will grind.
I know it's
I will
true.
grind.
I know
That's
it's true
right. I'll be up all night for my
because
family.
I
That's
own you, Ben. I own you in every sense of the word, and you're jealous of me. You wish you could have half the things that I have in life. and maybe
Yeah,
stick to the
I wish I could
children.
have your audience. Yeah, and I'm taking your
I know
audience
you're,
from you.
you're not taking anything. The only thing you're taking is my metaphorical dick up your ass right now.
Well, I mean,
I
you
am
can do
keeping
that
a
fantasy
grown
now,
man
but I mean,
awake
I
right
don't-
now on Discord. I've dragged you into a
There have been
children's
people who
chatting
say that
program
I'm gay.
just so that you can sit here and accelerate the death of your lungs by another 5 years, stressing out in this conversation.
the
Do
It's
you have like you rape your daughter and
wild
like
to me.
you're
I don't think I've
cigarette
ever
smoking,
I don't think I've ever had this much control over somebody in my entire life before. It's actually fucking wild.
That's probably true. That's
Probably,
true.
yeah.
No one's ever
I don't really
listened to you or
go out
obeyed
of my
you.
way to like groom people
Your
to
son,
try to
I'm
get
sure,
control
tells
over
you
them
to
that way.
fuck
You know?
off and calls you a loser. And obviously, your so-called wife doesn't give a shit what you say or
Uh-huh.
think.
Yeah, you think so? If you keep
So
saying
yeah,
it, maybe it'll be true, Ben.
this is probably the epitome of your
Maybe it'll be true. Project
manliness
more of your
right now.
problems onto me. That's
Amazing.
probably the closest to
Watching a
therapy
guy
you've ever
take
had in
your
your entire
viewers
life.
from you,
Uh-huh.
and I'll stay all night. I'll stay all
I
night.
know you will.
I'll
I
go
know. You'll
36
stay
hours right here with
right
you,
the
buddy.
fuck here. You'll stay exactly where I fucking tell you to stay because I own you, Ben.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why didn't you let Darius back into your house after that situation if you weren't upset at him?
Why do we ditch him?
Yes. If you were not mad,
I mean, I feel like
why did you ditch your
well,
guest
it's
if
a
you were not
funny,
mad?
it's a funny bit, and B, like I don't know, Grace was bored with him, and I was bored with him as well. I mean,
So it just so happened that you decided to do a funny bit where you ditch your guest.
Dude, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you were begging me to literally cancel my flight and stay there for multiple days? What do you mean?
I offer. Okay, that's
And
true.
you kept
I
on
offered
mentioning
Darius
my
when he
view
first
count.
came. I offered him to stay for 4 weeks. Yeah, that's right. I did. I generously
And
offered
then the
that.
next
Yeah.
day, when you were getting served papers, or you were getting called up because you fucked up something with the cops or with your restraining order, it became too much. What changed? When I was
No, that's before when you were getting
Boots.
the day that
Got the pants. I got the
When you
boots.
were getting picked up. That was the night before.
Wait,
Yeah, there
Darius,
was an
Darius,
incident.
can I drag John in here? He wants to join.
yeah.
Sure. And if you want me to go and talk to him by yourself, you're welcome to. I don't want to put the kid through anything more than but if he wants to talk with his father, that's great.
Does he usually talk to you?
No.
Why?
Because his mother put these paranoid ideas into his head that I was, whatever. He's confused.
He's incredibly cool. I like talking to him. Do you know he has a girlfriend?
I love him very much, yeah.
Sad you don't know anything
He's a
about
great
him.
artist. He's a great guy. I think he got confused by family dynamics, as did Grace.
Oh.
I think that's okay.
Family
You
dynamics.
guys should try like raising children. It's tough. It's interesting. They don't always like you.
Usually it's.
If you're something I don't like you, it's not because you're fucking their daughter, dude. Listen, I don't.
Right, that same joke. Darius, come back
It's
here.
not a joke.
You're a big
I'll-
man,
dude,
right?
I literally offered
Come
to
back
come
here,
over.
Darius.
I'll
Come
come
back
back.
here and
You
say
want-
that to
you
my
want me to-
face.
you want
You
me to do
never
that?
said that to my face.
I-
You were here all that
Because I
time.
didn't think
You
you
never
were
said
fucking
that
your
to my
daughter
face,
until I
right?
talked to John, and I realized that you actually are. You actually.
Okay, but you were shaking in your boots when you were talking to me, and I was just
promise you,
sitting
your
on the
daughter
couch.
was shaking in my boots. I was just thinking, what am I gonna
Yeah,
do?
you
Fucking
were.
do
You were
something.
afraid of me. All your whole
Because
chat
fucking
said I was
annoying ass
gonna
was
jump
sitting
you.
there, you were sitting there just talking, just rambling.
All right, then do it now. I'll pay for your ticket.
Go ahead.
You show
Go
up
ahead.
here and say that
Yes,
to
I
my
will.
face,
Okay,
and
cool,
I
I
will
will.
send you to an early death.
Okay, let's do that then. That'll get you away.
I will send you to an early
Do
death.
it.
Okay,
Do it.
cool, I'm
Yeah,
sending-
I'll
I'm
give you
sending
the
my
address.
paper right
Say it to my fucking face, and that'll be the end of you. And this whole nonsense, oh, is Darius a loser or not? Well, I'll find out.
now.
And I'll be happy to go to jail.
Alright,
No
cool.
problem.
Alright, we can set this up right now. Here, I'm sending out. I'm looking for flights right now. Rhode Island.
Didn't you begin this conversation lecturing Darius about being a good guest and what it's like to be a good guest? But
Yeah.
here you are saying that as a host, you kicked him out for a funny bit?
Well, also because he sucked as a guest. I told.
Yeah, do you
I
think
told
that's
him.
being a good host?
Oh yeah, there are reciprocal duties of a guest
I
and a
remember when
host.
he's sitting
Yeah.
there, dude. You're so mentally retarded. I remember when he was sitting there, like asking me to show them how to set up like donations.
Make me some
on
coffee
YouTube.
and roll me a few cigarettes. Yeah, because Grace was sleeping
No,
late.
dude, you were being so fucking weird.
And I was also gonna
I
have you
wasn't
take
even
the
like
trash
awake,
out, but
and
you
you were in
wouldn't.
my chat. You were in my chat offline
And I-
chat talking about how you wanted to like you're like, oh, Grace dumped you or whatever fucking random shit. You're like, okay, Darius, Blackie should come make me some shit or whatever. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then I come upstairs and you're like, oh, it's just a
No,
bit.
because your
you
chat
know,
said,
busting your
"Are you
balls.
my slave?"
And
And
I'm
I'm
like,
like, "No, he's my guest." But I mean, he could do something.
I came upstairs and I was like, oh, what's up? What's going on? You're like, oh, I'm just busting your balls. By the way, you know that. That's immediately the first thing you said. I didn't figure you actually wanted to have coffee. I didn't know it was that.
Well, you saw me cleaning the coffee machine, and you could have said, "Hey, let me help you out with
Okay,
that."
first of all, you are such a.
That's
pussy.
a
You actually
light
should-
thing to say to an
you're
older
actually
man.
such a
They're like,
fucking
I'll
pussy.
go ahead and
Actually,
just tell me
you
out.
literally said, "You want some coffee, by the way?" And then you went ahead and like a fucking dog went and go made me coffee.
None
Like,
of this matters. He's trying to critique you on being a bad guest when he kicked you out for a funny bit.
but no, he's on it.
like you're literally you're fake. If you cannot kick somebody out for a funny bit,
I'm sorry, do you
as
actually-
a host, and then act like the guest had any responsibilities.
It's
So a guest can't be such a bad guest that the host says like, "Sorry,
No,
pal."
because your reason for kicking him out was a funny bit. That was your reason. Your reason wasn't because.
Well,
he was
no,
a bad
that was a
guest.
mitigating
No, you said it. You made it clear. You made it plain. It's on
give me
live.
300 and I'll be
You
there.
kicked him
Give
out
me
as a funny
300.
bit.
Give me 300. I'll be there July 2nd.
I'm gonna pay for your death. No,
You literally just
you're
said
gonna
you
pay.
would.
You're gonna pay.
Why even say that you are? I mean, if you want me to go with myself, I'll go. But like you said,
You're
would
gonna
for
pay
it.
for your death. If you want to
You
come
are
up here and
such a
die,
fucking
you're paying for it. You're paying for it.
You just said you would pay him.
And I'm letting you
Just-
know,
just said,
if
why
you
say
come
that?
here,
Why say
that's
that?
what I intend to
Why
do.
is it so
You
what
fuck, but
he
it
tries to
doesn't
do
work
right
for
now,
him.
what he
I
keeps
don't
doing,
know.
what he keeps doing with the kids, which I noticed, the younger kids that are under like 19, the ones that still like him, by the way, the ones that are immature and don't really understand, he tries to go ahead and buy them random shit and tries to like, he has them unironically on a payroll, so that way they're probably not getting jobs or going to look into getting jobs. He has them on some weird Thorpe app.
I don't have them on payroll. Grace has them on a payroll, and you could have been on the payroll
Grace
too.
has
And
all your
Destiny
money, you
can be
fucking
on the
retard.
payroll.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you guys have some talent. It's just not streaming.
Oof, wait, putting family on payroll.
He has
that's a
family
big
on.
turn-off.
He has a 15 and 13-year-old on a payroll, by the way, so they're not getting jobs. Which is
Wait,
fucking,
what does he have them on payroll for?
Hopefully
not-
when
now we're
they're
gonna
on
accrue a
stream. When
flex
they're on
of
stream.
family
I'll send you the
businesses.
Thorpe payroll. Hold on, give me one moment. And he pays
Wait,
them-
is this for family chores? Because that's like expressly illegal under the IRS. You're not allowed to do that. It's a
Well,
violation.
it's for being on. It's for being on YouTube. For being on the live streams.
You can't have a family business, Destiny.
With where you're hiring minors, 1099s. That's not a family business. You can't
You can't
1099
have a
your wife
family
for doing
business.
housework and
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
You
yeah.
can't do
So
that.
you call my governor. I think his name is Dan McKee.
You know what's
You
weird?
tweet
too,
in,
I'm
and
pretty
I'll
sure
talk
there's
to Ron DeSantis.
Isn't there a
It's a
finer
gray
thing?
area. It's a gray area.
It's not a gray area. It's a pretty expressly legal IRS code. I think you get a finder's
No, it
fee for
isn't.
turning people in for stuff too.
No, it
like if
isn't.
you turn
It's a
somebody
gray
in, and they
area.
go, it's not.
It's a gray area.
Nope. You can't 1099 family members and pay them that way. That's tax dodging 101.
It's a gray area. You can pay your kid for mowing the lawn.
No. You're not even denying the claims at this point. You're just saying it's a gray area. That's not a good sign. Oh no.
Look at
You 1099 your son if he
Oh Jesus, man, defend
I posted
yourself.
it in chat. He literally puts his name.
At least put your hands up, bro. Defend yourself.
I
dude.
posted it in chat.
Jesus.
Anyways, I'm not paying them. Their sister is
The
paying them.
bracket eagles have to publicly admit you are not a victim of streaming or editing, and that you are a loyal employee of Thorpe Corp, which does not mean that you have to agree with the CEO. Grace Thorpe Corp's loyal, obsequious employee.
Obsequious.
Obsequious. Benjamin.
Try reading a book. Yeah, I offered to pay Malik for private late night sessions, one-on-one with her, and she charges $75 an hour. Now, was I going to follow through on that? Who knows? But she offered that.
Didn't
Is
Grace
that
have to give you a
illegal?
Credit card? Would she approve of that?
She would have to approve of it. Yeah.
I think she wants daddy all to herself.
I get paid a salary, so I have some spending money. But yeah, she generally approves of it. If it's like a Thorpe Corp. Am I allowed to work for my daughter? Is that okay? So all you got on me is lies, and that you make more money than me. All right. I guess that makes you a big man.
Well, I'm a better man than you in literally every.
Because you have more money?
I have a more
A lot of
successful
scumbags have a
marriage,
lot of money.
I've got less
Jeffrey
tax
Epstein had a lot of money,
children, I've
too.
got
Does
more
that
money.
make him a
I've
better
got
man
better
than me?
reputation. I probably am standing better in the eyes of God. I don't fuck my kids.
Right.
I think
and,
I'm like,
and you could have said
I don't
that in
smoke
front of our Lord as
cigarettes.
well. You don't have any money. We're the Pharisees. We have the money. We have the reputation, right? And you're crucified on that cross, right?
I'm an atheist.
Right. So you hate God, which is why you hate I'm the dad of the internet. You hate your dad.
It's not so
You
much
should
that I
love
hate God,
your
I
heavenly
just,
Father who
I don't
created
call
you.
him very
His son,
often.
Jesus Christ. his
What
vicar
is
on
the
earth,
$50
Holy
for
Father,
Darius
Pope
Ian
Francis,
in the
and
You should, you
father
should-
figures like me
You
who
should
you're
practice loving
losing
God.
to.
You know. Try that sometime.
Yeah, you hate God. Yeah. It's not you don't believe in God. You hate God
Yeah.
because he wants you to grow up and act right and stop doing this nonsense with this
What
fake
is
Do you get
marriage.
frustrated when you try to do like the little mind control stuff on people that aren't related to
Oh,
you?
you're a victim now too. You're a victim now too.
Well, I'm not. I could never be a victim.
I'm grooming you, right? I'm grooming
Your
you.
mind
Steven.
is far too weak. There's a reason why people like you only groom their own children. Trust me.
Why should I trust you?
'Cause I
You
know
have
more
no
about
knowledge of any of
basically
this stuff other than what
every
you read on the
possible
internet.
thing.
You're an idiot.
Anything there is to know, I probably know more about than you do, except for maybe fucking my kids.
All right, that one again. Say that to my fucking face. Come up here and say it to my fucking face. Or it's real easy to say that. All right, you want to go there? I fuck your mother. I fuck your mother. Fuck her up the ass. I fuck
No,
you.
but, like, the thing
Is
your
this the
son
level
literally
of
says
discourse?
that
Is
you
this
fucked
why you're
your
on the
daughter,
internet to
like,
say stuff
it's
like
not
that?
just like he's just randomly saying insults at you. Your son has confirmed that you fucked your daughter. Both
Yeah,
of your
he is.
sons.
He is.
Yeah, and you think
Yes,
it's just
he
because of manipulation, dude. It's so fucking cringe. Why do you have sex toys? Why do you have a strap on? Why do you have? You're saying
I
it's for
don't have
gags,
sex
but you guys
toys.
haven't done any gags related to it. Why do you guys own so much editing equipment, but you sit in your room on your laptop fucking
We
streaming?
didn't do a gag on you with that equipment.
Do you think that was successful?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's
Wait, so then
that's
you-
so
so
depressing.
then
I
you
killed,
admit it was
dude.
a-
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I did a
yeah.
bunch of bits and I literally made absolutely no money, I just sat here and not even getting an audience. I killed myself. Unironically, I'm so glad.
getting an
I have the
audience.
same size as
Obviously,
you,
I
and I
mean,
make
our
about 10
content's
times as
being
much as you've ever made on this fucking platform. It's so fucking depressing.
All you guys have is money.
It's not
Maybe
just
people
money.
do
It's
things-
not money. I have a
Maybe
bigger audience
people
than
don't
you.
all do things for money, Derek. Remember, I had a
What are you
conversation
doing
with
it for?
Derek.
You're not doing it for an audience. You're not doing it for because I'm getting a bigger audience than you by just existing. I'm getting more
Well,
money than you. What
Darius,
are you
you
doing?
said you had 38K viewers yesterday. That's not true. You have people botting in there.
Okay, let's
I
say
get
I
a
had
more-
5K. I still had more than you and Ethan Ralph
I
combined.
get a far more engaged chat. I think most of
You
your
wanna
stuff
get
is
their
bullshit. Now, I have a
What do you mean
question
you had
for
a
you,
far more
Darius.
engaged?
Darius,
Half your chat is people
Darius,
saying, "Don't
Darius,
fuck your
I've-
daughter." What do you mean? Half your chat is
Darius,
literally
can I ask
people
you a
coming in
question?
there to laugh at you for being a fat loser.
Darius, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
How do those bots get in there? How does it bounce to 38K?
I'm at 3K right now. Just.
I know, but it bounced to 38K all of a sudden, right?
I didn't think it did, but maybe it did.
Yeah, it did. Don't lie.
What am I supposed to do?
It was at 38,000. Now, how did that happen, Darius?
I was sitting there streaming. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you boost your viewership
Boost my viewership.
significantly. Look at your chat right now. And you say there's 3,000 people really watching? I don't think so.
Okay. They're pretty active. They're spamming a lot.
All right,
don't know.
Darius, I love you, but unlike this guy, I actually work, so I need to go to sleep and get ready for my life tomorrow. You know.
All right, have a good night, Steve. Well,
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart.
I'm bored then. Okay, cool. Well, I guess I will see Grace in LA.
Yeah, you can't hang with me by
Hopefully,
yourself. You
if-
gotta
if
bring in
we-
your fat
I know,
daddy.
because you're a fucking actual Spurg loser. I have no idea what to say to you. I'll be for real with you. I have no idea.
Win for the Forps today. Go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. Go cry. W.
All right, well, I'll be in Rhode Island in 2 months. Because I'm gonna hang out. So
Bye.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
be, I'm
you're
gonna be,
bit-
I'll just meet
you
you, you
gotta-
fucking dork. I'll be in Rhode Island in about 2 months. I'll be hanging out with John, your son that doesn't want to even hang out with you. I'll see your son more than you've ever seen him in the last like 3 years. So I'll be hanging out with him. If you'd like to go ahead and meet in person, I'll go ahead. I'll come up to you in person. I'll tell you exactly what I'm saying. And I will. If you want to go ahead and go, we can go. But I hope that you kill before I even end up there. Okay.
Damn it. Really?
Eminem's in this one. I love Eminem. I'm friends with Eminem, but I don't want to bother the man. And everybody kept saying, man, Eminem would be so funny in this part. And I was like, I don't want to ruin this guy's time. He's hanging out. He's in Detroit. He's doing his life, making records. And then I started going, but it certainly would be funny if he did it. So then, all right, let me bug Marshall and give him a call and say, dude, I know it's a pain in the ass, but it's pretty funny. You mind shooting out to us for a day? And then he's like, yeah, send me the stuff. And then it goes like that.
Happy Gilmore.
Eminem's in this one. I love Eminem. I'm friends with Eminem, but I don't want to bother the man. And everybody kept saying, man, Eminem would be so funny in this part. And I was like, I don't want to.
If you don't know where to start in Top Heroes World, the Springland is a great place to start. There are low-level enemies and villages.
Okay, what am I going to?
Discord, bottom left.
Dude, can I start dating an LLM yet? Can I date? What's the best dateable LLM?
Probably the one that
no lawsuits would never get me
that
too.
automatically uses redact, I guess.
Well, why is my AI girlfriend gonna kill me?
No, extort you. Sorry, that's a bad joke. Can you go to the fucking bottom left thing, please?
You mean Discord?
Yes, and then Dan. Yeah, click that bottom album right there, that one. Yes. Now I know there's a little man out there right now having his heart rate go up quite a bit right now.
Mm-hmm.
That man is this man right here. We're talking about Gato Fumador. I've taken an interest in this individual for a very specific fucking reason. Is that they're fucking insane. They are a terrorist. And I've done a select ambient selection of their tweets here for us to go through here. So why don't you just go through this, and I want you to explain to me what each one means as we go. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Need more women mass shooters, to be honest. Sounds like he wants more women mass shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Zionists aren't an oppressed group, and hating and terrorizing them is an unambiguous moral good. Shrug face. Seems like they're just hitting on Zionists. 10 years ago, pro-Palestine protests were about advocating for an oppressed group. Now they're about hating and terrorizing an oppressed group. I've watched this movement morph and change into everything the far right Zionists.
You're doing a really good Hassan chat viewer impression. Are you trying to do it on purpose?
No, I'm just reading.
Okay, keep going. Good Lord, imagine still pushing the Hamas rape hoax in 2025. I like it because all of these tweets are going to be synonymous with this guy.
Okay.
Keep going.
Because anyone raped on Oct 7th is dead or was kidnapped. Now the surviving hostages are being released. They have confirmed that they were sexually abused.
Only one former hostage has, Amit Susana. She alleged a guard made her perform an unspecified sex act. She is also the only hostage to claim that Hamas randomly tortured her for intelligence by pretending like they were going to poke her in the eyes. She's a corporate lawyer, a Jew, as you can imagine. Keep going. I love it because this person worked on someone's campaign, by the way. The guy who's running for Senate right now.
Who?
Abdul El Sayed, I believe. This guy, he was out there. He was working for the campaign.
Really? That's where we're... Okay.
I'm not fucking with you. It's abdulforsenate.com.
No one cares what you Israeli rats think. We Americans have freedom of speech here in the United States. American flag.
Oh, is my we're alternating?
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Klein goes on a tirade about Jewish Voice for Peace, denouncing the organization for attending pro-Palestinian, anti-genocide protests, positions he insists do not represent him or the wider Jewish community. Which, by the way, actually, I feel like I've said it 100 times. Ethan Klein is... I hope I'm not going to get myself in trouble here.
Jewish?
The most cucked of the Jews.
Oh, they all are.
Yeah, like...
ContraPoints are the same.
These people are
like,
so...
they're genociding. It is really a genocide, but sometimes I think maybe we go a little bit too hard on the Jews. And they're
it's
like,
so funny how bad the left is at getting anything accomplished. Like, you have some of the biggest content creators that there are that are like 99% aligned with what you are, and instead of just like overlooking, I guess, the fact that they want like Israel to like not the people there not to be evicted to Europe like this fucking guy does, instead of doing that, you're like, this guy's a fucking baby killer. Like that, because of that, that's why these people have no fucking motion whatsoever. Like it's insane fucking people like this. Like this guy agrees with 99.9999% of what fucking Hassan does, but that because of that 0.0001, Zionist baby killer. Hila killed thousands in Gaza.
I heard that from Bad Empanada.
Okay. Bruh, all my homies are rooting for Hamas.
Bruh.
This is good. Fuck Israel, fuck Zionists. A lot of Arabs in Israel, but okay. Don't you yawn at my expose.
I wasn't.
Of this guy? This guy's
unhinged. What about him?
Yeah, it's just more. I just, I want to get through a lot of this is, a lot of these people like to try and say like, oh, we're an activist. We're out here, we're trying to help the Palestinian cause. This guy, I want to make a bold claim here. I think these things, this is like terrorism, basically. When you're coming out here and you're saying, this should happen, we should kill people. Like there's Arabs there. There's anti-Zionist fucking Jews there.
Animals.
Animals. True. You hate animals, basically. Yeah, I mean, keep going. Just fucking crazy shit. Zionists lie like they breathe. Zionist scheming. Oh, I know that expression. Scheming, you know that?
Oh.
Oh, I like this one. They're not Americans. They both died when serving in a foreign military. This guy...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. if he turns out he has part, I mean, look, there's a lot of these. I'll make them accessible to everyone else. So I've archived all this guy's stuff going back. This is just a small selection of what I pulled up before the show in a few minutes. But, you know, it's not activism, this shit. It's terrorism. It's not, you're not helping the Palestinian people when you basically come out here and you make yourself turn into a terrorist, which is kind of what this shit is. And, yeah. So I was going to say who this guy was on the show tonight. I'm not going to do that. I've talked with...
Why not? I'm going to reveal it.
No, don't.
Can I say just the first name?
No. What?
What's his first name?
No.
His online first name.
Sure.
It's Lycan. No, I'm just
Oh.
I'm just Wait, why don't you say this guy's name?
That would be the funniest fucking shit ever if it came out.
Why won't you say this guy's name?
Because he's going to get sued and he's going to lose everything. He's done just flat out defamation. This guy and another guy, they've just come out and, I mean, it's not in here specifically, but it's a level of harassment and then also just statements that pass the actual malice test of or whatever. And he can defend himself. I mean, good luck with the fundraising. I mean, fucking Caseytron and all those people are doing like 30K, so I don't know how much the fuck you are. Yeah, this is the one here. This is what all spawned it. Him fucking trying to
shit, that's your house.
Yeah, he was trying to be like, hey, can I get interior photos of this guy's place? What I should have fucking done if I was a Chad, I should have just fucking pulled up his house and just did that.
Pulled up to his house.
I should have pulled up to his house.
And then you should have posted pictures of him in his doorway.
I should have.
That would have been fucking baller. Beast mode.
But you know, it is what it is. Like,
it is.
This guy is he's beyond a horrible person because he hurts Palestinians. Because he doesn't care. It's all about him getting more followers, more everything. As for why I'm not going to do it, is because I was recommended by an attorney to take a very specific path of this moving forward. So that's what I'm doing. And I don't want to
submitted his breakfast to the.
No, I just I want to make sure that I don't
bill him for it.
I'm not going to be directing any harassment at him whatsoever. I have not said any claims about him. However, he's made several claims about me, and he can defend those claims. And good luck. Oh yeah, there's another one. Wait, the other one is so that's it. That's all your heart rate can go down from me at least. Ethan Klein is suing the guy as well. He's going to be fucking insane, unhinged. This guy will.
Look, Caseytron is the most. She's in first.
Ethan Klein is a fucking maniac with this shit. He doesn't care, which I do respect a little bit. I'm a little bit more like, okay, this guy's father just died. There might be some probate there. He's a fucking evil dude. So there's some money to be had. I'm strategic about it a little bit. Like, you want to go out and call people fucking pedophiles and like threaten them with their fucking house and shit. I'm fine with that. I'll come at you the same way. That's fine. Okay. What's the website I was trying to find here? Hold on. Tracker. It is, go to dramaleech.com.
How many of these are there?
There's a really good one. There's a better one. Dramaleech.com.
It's all the same shit, isn't it?
No, this one's better. And then, there you go. Second button. All right. Scroll down. Okay. What do we got for the last 24 hours on Caseytron? What do we got? 0. Ooh. You want to pull the... Denims has made $25. Scroll down a little bit more. Frogan has made 0. Okay, let's just turn from 24 to 48 hours. All right, we've done... Okay, $15. Okay, scroll up a little bit. 48 and the other ones too. $5. $30 total. 127 in the last week. Okay, 164 in the last week. All right. All right, listen, we're up to like almost $450 combined in the last week. This is good. I mean, it actually kind of sucks because if they don't raise enough money, they're not going to be able to do an actual defense against Ethan, which means that there won't be any trial, which means they'll be cucked for fucking content. Don't say that. We have to get Hassan to donate or to shout these guys out in the show. If Hassan can raise like fucking $1 million for Palestine, he should be able to raise fucking 300K for these dipshits. We need that money, by the way. Like, unironically, you need that if you want this. Like, the content carousel will end if these guys don't raise more money. They'll all just fucking settle. They'll just give whatever the GoFundMe is money to Ethan and walk the fuck away. I promise you. They need to make more money. You have to get them more money.
Do these types of things, can these be trialable, or do judges always decide these?
What do you mean?
Like copyright cases.
I think you can always ask a judge to, if both parties agree, to do it.
As a matter of like.
And in criminal, you can ask for a judge as well,
yeah,
right?
but I'm saying that like, trials exist to resolve matters of fact, not
I have
matters of
donated
law.
to them.
Trials exist to resolve matters of fact, not matters of law.
Sure.
So usually you'll say like, oh, like I killed him, oh, I didn't kill him. But if you agree on all the facts and you're just asking for like a legal conclusion about them, I don't know if a jury ever decides that. So like for copyright cases, you're saying, yeah, I copyright infringed kind of, but it was fair use. But I don't know if like does a jury ever determine fair use, or is that all exclusively like a judge? Isn't that like a legal question? You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think that it would. I think probably the best hope. I don't know if I want to give help to these guys. I don't think it matters, honestly. Their best hope, honestly, is a jury trial, and to hope that they get some Palestinian activist on the jury. Like that's their only hope, I think.
Top secret one.
I mean, if you're asking me, like, what strategy they have to beat this case, that's like, I think the only thing that would work. You need to get Shonda Black on the jury.
Jesus.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? Well, meet Experian, your BFF, as in big financial friend. Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. Experian could help you save, lets you check your FICO score, and so much more. Just download the Experian app today for free. Trust me, you need this big financial friend.
That would be a successful, decent strategy for being able to come out of the ahead to win. They still have not found one fucking attorney, by the way, not one that has said, you know what, they have a shot. This is why they might.
They might have an attorney now.
No. They probably are getting represented. I think Casey Tron is being represented by someone that does real estate law or something. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what I saw. But that said, well, I want to know what the possible defense is for this.
Probably just to make Ethan waste money would be my guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but he gets attorney's fees back because he registered this. So like, you don't want Ethan to waste money.
Well, we'll see what happens then. That'll be crazy.
You have no idea what defense these guys could. Actually, you know what? No help. No help. Say it with an A. No
help.
That's right. No help. We're not doing hypotheticals for this one. They can fucking figure it out themselves. No help. Okay. Let me thank some Patreon subscribers. And I don't know if we're going to do the show again. This might be the last one. You fucking drove me nuts this show. I'm going to be honest with you. You got to get your fucking shit together, okay?
My shit is always together.
You're literally not going to be able to have your fucking iPad if you're going to be like this. I'm going to have to take it away.
If you don't have your laptop.
Fine.
Okay.
You think I need my laptop?
I was there when the laptops were written.
What?
Read the names.
Okay. Audience. It's not even funny. Don't laugh at your own jokes. It's pathetic.
You sound like you need to build a gorilla nest, bro.
God, that is so fucking... It's such a fucking... I don't know what you do if you're that other guy now, after that shit. Like, you basically have been...
He trolled the fuck out of Sam. Yes.
How did he troll... Wait, hold on. How did he troll the fuck out of him?
Sam was wilding out. He's probably just having everybody...
Wait. I missed it. I'm not fucking with you. I don't know. I thought that Sam was like... Sam Hyde was just like, I'm going to make you look like my bitch because I'm Sam Hyde and I do fucking crazy shit.
He was there to do the guy's show and the guy got Sam Hyde so fucking triggered he started throwing the table around and shit.
Wait, how was he getting Sam Hyde triggered?
Because Sam Hyde was literally throwing the table around.
I understand he was doing that, but what specifically made Sam Hyde get triggered?
The guy was like, he was just one-upping him constantly and trolling the fuck out of him, and Sam Hyde wasn't ready for it. I gotta blow my nose. Fuck you.
What?
I have to blow my nose.
No, I mean...
He trolled him. I don't know what he said, but he trolled him hard, obviously.
All right. Special thanks go out to our subscribers: Lexrin, Nimrod Near, Destiny, Play League again, please, Mephistial, Lawson Harrison, honestly, Reckless, Destiny, please play D&D again with Nick, Moot, and Koibu. Please, Arcadia needs you. They're all starving. They haven't seen you in years, and they need your help. I don't know. You know, every time you do an interview in here, I feel like you need to be taxing that guy, okay? I'm paying for half this place, all right?
Taxing what guy?
The guy that came in here. You gotta be a little fucking. We need like a parking pass.
Oh, Tom?
Yeah, Tom's got to pay some money. He wants to come back here.
He's only done one in here.
Huh?
He's only done one in here.
What's this Tom's guy's email? I'm gonna drop him some information about you. See how best friends you are after that.
You could probably contact him through his company, Impact Theory.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Tom must not know very much to be aligned with you.
I don't think you're clacking right now.
Oh, we're pulling out some H3H3 memes?
Some what?
H3H3 made the Justin Bieber clocking meme popular, essentially.
Actually, I think Justin Bieber made the Justin Bieber.
No, Justin Bieber is kind of only relevant because other people make him relevant.
Really?
Yes.
Justin Bieber was the.
Do you think that we're in like 2007 now?
2007?
Yeah. You think Justin Bieber is like hot shit right now?
Wait.
What? You know the last song that you remember from Justin Bieber?
Yes.
I know it is. It wasn't even sung by Justin Bieber.
What?
It was a StarCraft parody.
No, Baby Baby was sung by Stark. That was a Bieber song.
Yeah, I understand. What's the one that we remember?
Baneling.
Banelings. Oh! You know that song. That guy.
H the Husky.
Let's pull him up. I want to see what he's up to these days, because I remember last time he was up to some let's just say he wasn't commentating StarCraft anymore.
Somebody link
it in chat.
Do you think he's still with Rosa?
I have no fucking idea. What a strange life path that guy has.
Was it really that strange?
I think so. He's like...
He started dating another YouTuber who was mega popular?
He looks like a... Okay, so this is...
2 years ago he re-uploaded it.
Yeah, but I want to see... Okay.
Oh, and this guy's like a famous YouTuber guy now, or he was. I don't know if he is.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. So I want to see the comparison. So, HDSK Husky...
Hello, Ren, this is HDSK.
Oh, look! Caesar Stargrave again!
Wait. How recent is this? 2 years ago.
Oh, look, I have more subs now. Oh, my God. Kind of a big deal.
Oh, my God.
What?
The
How
one
many
to
months
the
ago
top
was that?
right.
If you could go back.
Wait, top right? Big, epic, big
No,
FFA?
there was something...
Oh, StarCraft is saved?
I don't know. Wait, he's talking about Pirate Software. Yes! Click that one. Hold on, this is everything I need.
What is with these names like Pirate, Ninja, War? Like, first of all, most unoriginal names ever. From what I've gathered, Ninja is actually a nice guy. But like, I want to talk. Husky isn't exactly the most original name, but it's more original than like Warrior, Army, Pirate. I don't know. Like Pirate Software. Whatever. I don't actually know anything about it. But no, I did see the clip, and I think. Oops, I should probably turn off Aspect.
Christ.
I think the right conclusion with this. But can I say first of all, at the end of the day, the Pirate Software drama is completely harmless. And if you think that it is not harmless, I don't know the full scope of it. I think there's like cheating allegations in games and like there's this other stuff. I don't know anything about that. I'm talking just about what kicked it all off. Okay, so first of all, everyone just needs to accept that it is completely harmless. And I'm just talking again. I don't know the other allegations that are coming out.
You think Pirate Software would agree with this take? That it's harmless?
Pirate Software.
Well, what does he mean that is harmless?
I don't know.
Like the people are overblowing it, or?
I think he's saying that like Pirate's being a bitch.
Here's the thing. The only way to really get canceled on the internet now is to essentially lie to your audience. Thanks to Raptors for following. And that is what Pirate Software is doing. He is gaslighting the shit out of his audience, and he just cannot let his ego... it's just out of control.
It is
like, if you watch the clip,
true.
The dude is terrible at Mage, okay? Like, his skills are comparable to, like, Tyler 1. Is that his name, Tyler 1? Again, I don't watch these streamers that much. I just tried shot that I have off my bar.
Dude, Tyler 1 is bad at something?
World of Warcraft.
Is he?
He was like, okay. He got good at a decent amount of time, but he's like, he wouldn't be like a fucking arena rank 1 or whatever.
Okay.
Like, I get the need to want to run away, but the thing about Mage is if you play it right, you are one of the safest classes in the game, and you need to help your teammates. Like, a big part of Frost Mage is not your DPS. It is your utility for helping your team. And you have to know when to getting a little dicey here. And okay, at least he has ice block, so he's a smart mate. And in those situations, unless
okay, this is a yeah, I don't care. But he had a show with his wife or something, right? Where's that show?
Oh no, what if they broke up? What's on her channel? It'd be like Rosa.
I don't know.
Wait.
Do I have to type it in chat because you don't have the fucking keyboard?
No, I just realized there's a.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Brain blast.
Okay.
But it's not that brain blast.
Okay, I'll take it. What is it?
Well, one of the reasons why I don't like the current political scene online is that everybody has realized, like, the Trump Republican Hassan strategy is to avoid confrontation as much as possible. Don't ever debate. Because if you don't debate, you can make your opponents or enemies look however you want, and nobody will ever know in your own audience that you're fucking retarded. Because you're never confronted on anything. And Pirate Software was able to fool his entire audience for literally half a decade or whatever, however long this guy... No, it wasn't.
It can't be that long.
But a few years, because he, like, hijacked the shorts algorithm and everything else on, like, every single topic. But it was because he just had, like, kind of like a little circle jerk, a little echo chamber. Not, like, politically, but, like, on all of his stuff. But the second he got into, like, a quote-unquote debate or confrontation, like, over World of Warcraft, like, it was like, oh, shit, wait, this guy is super full of shit. And then everything collapsed from there. Because he really did, like, blow his whole shit up.
Why would he... He could have just, like, apologized.
He's
like,
narcissistic. He has... There's a few people that have, like...
The real deal. Like, actual personality disorder.
So, yeah. Like, it's like a cognitive distortion.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there are some people who, like Elon Musk has this, Mr. Girl has this, and Pirate Software have this, where they will do things that are so bad, but they don't even realize how bad they are. And I compare it to people like you know, Lav. She's, like, very narcissistic, but Lav is not... She knows when she looks bad.
Okay.
But some people, like, don't have any concept of looking bad.
You think he doesn't know that when he's doing this, he's, like, coming off like a cunt?
No. Pirate Software has no idea, no. He legitimately thinks that, like, if he gives the right answers and shit, that he's, like, Godstonying his way through it. He's like, oh, I'm so good.
But he's not accomplished at all.
In his mind, he is. He, like, has...
Like, this is the thing that gets me, is, like, in DGG, like, I fuck around, I do nothing. People call me a retard all day. But as you said before, I've done a lot of like, you can look at my resume. Like, I don't bring out the shit, well, except for this one fucking episode. I don't bring out the shit that I've done, ever. Go look back past the last year of anything else. I haven't said anything about it. But, like, this guy talks about his shit, it seems like every half hour, constantly. And it's not that impressive, the shit he's done. It's not like, hey, I created this huge company and sold it, or, hey, like, I, you know, did some fucking wild shit. It's like, it's the same story over and over and over again. Wow, you fucking social engineered some guy at fucking DEF CON and you worked at Blizzard. Who gives a fuck? I'm not gonna eat those words, Dolby Fighter, because I have not said fuck all about the shit that I've done. I know that. I'm the most non-humble bragger, humble bragger, because I don't even do the humble part of the bragging.
True.
It is true.
Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen with that guy?
Pirate?
Yeah.
The real answer is a sad... I mean, it's like the most expected. He'll just keep streaming through it to a more and more dwindling audience.
What do you think the audience... Because he still has, like, 5K current viewers, right?
I don't fucking know how. Unless he's DSPing himself. He fucking might.
What does that mean?
All of his watchers are becoming anti-fans. And it's like you watch him just to, like... To like lolcow at him.
I feel like his shit is way too boring now.
I don't know. It feels like he's continually crashing out. Like, I think he has the potential. Hold on. We may be...
What? You might be looking at what?
We may be looking at the greatest discovery of a lolcow in the 21st century.
No.
Yes.
Not even close, unfortunately.
Not yet. But we may be looking at the creation of one. This is the lolcow prima facie, the best of the best, the example that you would give. He is going to become that man.
I
I understand what you're saying, and I know how much you want it to happen, but keep in mind that people who currently hold that title are people like Boogie.
Yeah, but the thing is, Boogie and those guys have become self-aware of it, and now they're making a career out of it. No, it doesn't count.
Okay. Yeah,
Like DSP is, or wait, who would you say? Wings has
Wings has moved on.
He's moved on, right? I think that Boogie he's like making a career out of it. He's aware of what's going on. I understand he does like lolcow shit, but some of the biggest lolcow shit is not knowing that you are a lolcow. And I think that
you know what you can do?
He has all the markings of never acknowledging that he is one.
You know what you should do if you really wanted to be? Fuck, I don't have the keyboard. I don't know if Lizzie pick it up. Do you remember the guy who made
Look, it even says overnight lolcow. Oh,
where?
Top right, second from top right. The
That's
thumbnail
our video.
Then it must be true. You're gonna say that you were wrong?
What is the do you remember the show when it fuck. It was Vice or somebody. Somebody made a fake award ceremony for some woman and flew her out and presented her the award. You know what I'm talking about?
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
No.
Somebody in chat linked this.
All I know is
you could make one of these for him and he would fall for it and he would accept it. That would be your
He would look into it and he would have to be like, hey, who else is going? Who else is going to this? I feel like he might not. You could fly him out though. He'd be that pathetic to go.
Jesus.
Like the social engineering awards. You're right.
The recipient for the 2020 Campaign to Unify the Nation trophy is
Campaign to Unify the Nation trophy is a cunt award.
Katie Hopkins.
He faked this whole like org, and those are all like his friends, and they flew this lady out. I don't know what she does. Is she like anti-abortion or something, or she does something?
Told us what she really thought.
This is by far the most fun I've had in a very long time.
Me too, Katie. Me too.
I am not used to.
I couldn't hold it. This is the cringe level for me would be I couldn't hold it in. I would be dying if I was in this room and you had fucking him in front of like Pirate Software in front of me being like, yeah, this is a great honor to be here. I am one of the best social engineers of this generation, and I appreciate getting some recognition. I would just fucking die. I wouldn't be able to be there.
Wait a minute, they're saying that about me. Whereas normally it is kind of an incoming deluge of fireballs coming my way. So it's kind of an odd thing to actually tip on its head, but I really do appreciate it. People incarnate in a school playground in the UK, 2,000 kids come running, and you don't want any of them. Epileptics are all weirdos. They're up there with the Asians. The East London's very shitty, the best price. H2 Muslim, what can I say? Most people raping their own mother. I guess Muslims are different. So she, I believe her name was her fiance. I believe his name was Anyway, they practice because they're such retards. Other places where people get stabbed a lot or try and rape their own mother.
You know, I like how it went out. He's back in now.
How dare you? Autistic wench, thank you very much.
Having all pretended to enjoy that horror show, we decided we needed a drink, which made us wonder if we could play some old-fashioned games.
Is that Milo Yiannopoulos? Bizarro World?
Take a ward. The truth is, there's an awful lot of hate in this world. I look a little bit silly.
It's with great sadness that I have to report that Katie has been banned on Twitter, and as a result thereof, she can no longer be a member of the society.
Wait, is she did they ever reveal to her? Maybe not.
I feel like she probably knows at this point, right?
Well, thanks. Yeah. But I mean, it would be funny to see her reaction.
How would we do? First off, two things. One, it would be funny to do this to Pirate Software, and he definitely would show up if you tried to do it. You'd have to get some people on board, like, because he's not so stupid that he would just like fall for it, and we couldn't be involved, obviously, at all, or at least not appear to be. Secondly, is so it'd have to be the first inaugural, whatever. Second thing, I've seen there needs to be like a IRL DGG thing, with security, obviously. But I thought of the way to get in. It's the perfect way to have perfect security. Have to be a chatter. That's how you can buy your tickets. When you go to get it, when you try to get your tickets, you log in and it checks to see how many chat messages you have and when you registered. And if it's less than a certain amount, you can't buy a ticket.
What about the lurkers? Most people who show up at events are lurkers.
They would probably have an older account.
Well, make your accounts now, guys.
I think it's a great way to do it. And then
we could just have like DGG CarryCon and everybody has a gun. So if anybody tries to kill me, they all
start blasting. But yeah, you're still. I mean, look, we'd get a fuck ton of people going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
How many
we'll
people?
Set it up.
How many did you?
500,000.
How many Jews you think died in the Holocaust?
No. What?
I don't. It's just really low number. Why do you think it's so low?
It's way too many.
Oh, it's way too
I
many.
don't think any Jews died in the Holocaust.
Really?
I think that went to Argentina with Hitler.
You're supposed to say only the Zionists died in the Holocaust.
True. If the Zionists were the only ones that died in the Holocaust instead of all the Jews, then it would just be 5,400,000 people.
Right.
Get it? Because 90% of Jews are Zionists.
Yeah. God, I can't. This can be. Yeah.
Work goes smoothly when you know.
It's hard being a solo in Dune Awakening. I've taken it upon myself to try to mess with the big guilds a little bit that mess with us little fish. And I found the perfect guild with 2 harvesters to go after. No, bro. We had to be more sneaky. So I landed a little further out and just walked on in there to see what would happen.
I got 2 carriers. Sneaky, sneaky, snake.
As I landed on the carrier, I knew I had to get the laser gun out and just beam it up to try to blow this up before they could do anything. They were kind of confused because they were probably not used to this happening, and neither was I. But I flopped on the battery ability that gave me almost infinite charge so I could go through the harvester a lot quicker and eventually did some damage. But then I got a little greedy and tried to jump on top of it, and Dune just kind of did its thing to me.
What the fuck?
By then the jig was up. I had to just swing around and do as much damage as I can because these are the guys that mess with us solo fish.
Holy shit, there's a lot of you. Bro, why did it throw me off? Get some, sucker!
Uh-oh. The hook wasn't quite enough, so I got the Bindu sprint on too to just run around like a wild little lost puppy. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But with that said, this week... Calm down, Fuglet. The Treaties on my server won the Lance Rat, and we're getting the Homemade rocket launcher next week. And I'm going to be making another clip, making a little bit of a mess with big guilds. So make sure you guys follow because I'll be able to do a lot more damage to these big guilds in the next one. It's hard being a solo in Dune Awakening.
Damn, fucked him up.
At TSTC, if you don't receive a job offer within 6 months after graduating, we'll refund your tuition. Because investing in yourself shouldn't be a risk. It should be a guarantee.
A guarantee.
When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix was perfect for that. I'm Josh. I'm a musician, and I'm a sound effects artist. I wanted to create videos as universal as possible that had no limit to anyone could enjoy them, and that was how I came up with the idea to do sound effects. I took our tunes and I used my drum set and the instruments, and I recreated all the sound effects to the scene where they're cooking up some soup. From the moment I uploaded this video, I just feel that something was a little bit different. It was insane. I was 25 million views on Instagram. I really didn't know what to do, and it was my grandma. She just turned 99. She said, "You've got a good idea. Now's the time to focus and just keep doing it." Now I have over 20 million followers across my social media channels, and each of my videos gets millions of views. As my brand continues to grow, creating a website is the natural next step, and so I made a website on Wix. I wanted the website to really represent me and my entire brand, and it perfectly matched the tone that I was trying to get, which is playful yet professional. When the website came together, I had a similar feeling to how I feel when I've gotten that perfect take on one of my videos. I had a big smile on my face, and I just was like, oh my god, this is perfect.
Can't believe This fucking guy abandoned his shit too.
Donna's not saying that identifying as Christian or going to church is going to provide a path to success, but embodying the values that come from
Too
some
close
Christian
to
values
another
makes you
sub-thief.
successful. So things like taking care of your family, taking care of your communities, adhering to the 10 Commandments. So like no gangbanging, no drug no thug shit,
Where
no
the fuck
being,
is it?
infidelious or whatever. Like all of this if you follow these rules, it is a path to success for your community.
But when we attack Destiny in his space, yeah, he gonna fight back.
Yo, shut the
Cause
up.
it's his space.
Uh-oh.
Take the plank out of your eye before you start telling other people.
No.
When you guys
Kill
treat
yourself.
me a certain way, Destiny, you shouldn't have never let Max in here.
A lot of people came in talking about their black experience and whatnot. Mine is pretty unique because
I wish people would fucking.
my dad was the father of the modern day Juneteenth movement. Like he got Juneteenth passed in 46 states here, like in the U.S. And he's been an activist all his life, pretty much. So, and I've lived in the South all my life. You know, through the 80s, 90s, with the view of like having an activist for a father. He's telling me everything that, you know, all the history of black people in the United States and things like that. And also some of the stuff around the world as well. Seeing like his struggle, seeing how my peers, you know, struggle because I grew up in an impoverished neighborhood. Let me see. And I've sat in with a lot of talks with black leaders. Was Thomas McRae. He's like the leader of the Black Evangelical Church, a pretty large Black Evangelical Church. Dr. Thomas McRae. I've actually like no shit. Yeah, just to give like my experience on some things. Like I saw you guys have a lot of questions. You know, I had a lot of viewpoints and stuff like that. And I just want to, you know, just chime in a little bit.
Okay. What are you chiming in? Like, what are you saying? Where are we wrong? Like, I'm very like I'm getting a bit bored. Like you need to quick it up a little bit. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, for one, like I guess it was more Annalise on this point, but it was like the black experience in America versus like around the world. Like the black experience in America, like, you know, like Steven said, is vastly different than anywhere else in the world. Like for one, nowhere else in the world do you have black people inside of like a white country that has an upper black middle class or black middle class like Atlanta. Like that doesn't happen in the UK. It's nowhere else in the world. It's just America, not even in Canada. So like we have our experience is truly unique, especially with like how many black epicenters for commerce and things that we built that were destroyed. You know, Atlanta was kind of like it was about to be destroyed during the Atlanta race riots, but it was like because of the National Guard it was saved. So it's like, yeah, we have a lot. Like it's a very unique experience, I would say.
Yeah. The thing is, Jason, nobody is disagreeing that like you have a unique experience, and the thing is, I would never speak over an African American or a black person of their experience. All I'm saying is that if we are to, I think there is benefit in sharing our international experience so we can understand how systemic racism and how it is not. We can see what is culture and what isn't. Does that make sense? Like nobody is saying that like black experience is the same and that like I could never speak for you. Okay, you can only speak for you.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like when you said you were bored just a little bit earlier, you were kind of speaking over him.
Oh, because I'm not getting what he's saying. Like he's just talking about some church minister. Like I don't know. I don't get it. Like just got.
He's introducing himself.
Yeah.
But it was taking like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to drag on, but yeah, it was just an introduction.
No. You hold on. Wait. Well, real quick. Hold on. You're good. You weren't dragging on. You're totally fine. I'm sorry. But go, no. Jeez. I think it's just because what? Because you kind of shit all over the guy. Juneteenth is like it's a federal holiday in the United States. It's like a decently big deal, right?
Yeah, big deal, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro. Like my dad was fighting for this forever. I wish he would have got a chance to see it. You know, he passed in 2018. Yeah, I wish he would have got a chance to see it. He would have been like jumping all over the street. He would have had our own personal parade across the country, like just him marching. I'm sure he would have done that. But yeah, it's a really big deal.
What the hell happened?
A lot of elbows.
Is that not picking up the bodies?
Okay, yeah, but that was the introduction. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we had comments earlier about what I don't even know what you want to chime in. We went all over the place. Yeah, what do you want to say? Go for it.
Let me see.
In Albion, no matter where you go or what you do, your mount will accompany you on your journey. Perhaps you'll pick the ox, a merchant's best friend. It can carry anything you throw at it. Anything. Okay, maybe not that much. Or the fearless armored horse. It doesn't mind riding even into certain death. And in case you want to cosplay as the ultimate edgelord, we've got just the right mount for you. Perhaps you prefer a more peaceful life, that of a gatherer. This deer will help you haul your resources. Just look at these strong legs. If you're unfortunate enough to encounter this beast, honestly, just run. Or go with a cat like everyone else. It's cute, I get it. Whatever your style or what you do in the game, Albion Online has the right companion for you.
Man.
Or I'll give you a guiding question that you can talk around it. Okay.
Yeah, please.
So one of the topics that
Mm.
Fenn is kind of bringing up that people have been kind of speaking around is it seems like there's questions of when it comes to the black community in the United States. Obviously, there are problems. How much of the onus needs to be on the black community versus like people in charge of systems to remedy a lot of these problems? So people like Fenty or maybe Anna are kind of pushing more on like there needs to be more responsibility or cultural changes in the black community. Like that's where most of the change needs to come from. Other people on the left would push and say like, well, actually these are systemic changes that need to come from, you know, like government and whatnot. Yeah, that's kind of like the conversation that's kind of sort of happening right now. And yeah, you can speak around that or contribute to that however you want.
Okay. I say everybody does have a valid point. Like there needs to be a lot more. There doesn't need to be a lot more personal responsibility. But at the same time, it's that line between personal responsibility and government policy is very blurred. Like, so for instance, if you look at economic mobility, like a lot of people who are born in the middle class don't move out of middle class. And it's like, it's statistically, most people, if you're born in a class, you're almost certain to die in that class. You know, you might move upward just a little bit, just enough for your kids to maybe move up a little bit. But for the most part, you know, you're pretty much stuck there. And I think that black Americans just fall into that. The only time that we did see black Americans rise in a pretty short time, believe it or not, post Civil War, pretty much between 1867 and 1876, you saw like a black elite, which is what sparked a lot of these riots and things. Like a lot of people didn't like that, like in the 1900s. But yeah, you did see a lot of freed slaves who were doctors and lawyers, even like states. The first black statesman came from post-Reconstruction era. So yeah, like after Jim Crow though, these areas got so toxic, like so toxic. Like even in the area I'm from, it's really hard for black children, for black people to break out of the mindset they were like kind of beat into them. Like I knew a lot of people I went to school with who were like geniuses, really great artists, and because nobody instilled in them that they could go to Harvard or Juilliard or even like to a school outside of their state, a lot of them never pushed to it. And it's kind of hard to explain like that mentality that black people get stuck in.
I know Anna's not here, but can I kind of, if I'm to like summarize my issues with like her explanation of why black people, not just in America but globally, are in the situation that they're in today, it really hinges on like her arguing that like changes in black people's tactics, like everything from like civil disobedience to urban violence, has like led to this onslaught of like a new form of racial resentment that we find fueling controversies culturally over like welfare, crime, drugs, family, affirmative action. But like you're saying, and you were explaining a concept that's known as like stickiness at the ends, like this idea of like a lack of economic mobility within these communities, that if you're born into a certain economic class, you're very likely to remain in that economic class. You're not going to transcend it. It's extremely unlikely. like what Anna never brings to the conversation is like a materially based explanation for like why these changes have occurred, you know. And I think she kind of relies more on like cultural tropes instead of like biological tropes to explain like Black people's position in America, at least. But she never wants to talk about like the central factor that really shapes like Black people's lives. And it is that materialist understanding, you know, like viewing these like racial matters. I guess is like all of these people are kind of like actors that are just corresponding to their systemic location within their country, you know, relative to their economic position or social position, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. I don't know why people harp on that, you know, personal responsibility aspect of it. Like I said, that, you know, I do agree that personal responsibility plays a part, but you know, the people who kind of break out of these molds, I would say, are kind of superhuman in themselves. Like, you know, we're talking about exceptions of the exception. Like, not only did you break out economically, you broke out of it mentally, things like that. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to talk about the reason why they're even in those positions is because of systemic racism and systemic policies, you know, that put them there.
We're always talking about that. I always want to talk about that. And I feel like we talk about it too much. That's my point.
Right, but we can't like disregard it at all. Like, it has to be equal part of the conversation. Like, even in the 80s, like my parents.
To be equal. We gotta tone down the 100% to 50.
Right. I mean, like, you know, even like my parents, like in the 90s, were denied housing. You know, and my father was a doctor, and they told him no. Like, they just lied to him. Like, my mom is like, I guess you would say white passing. You know, she has 2 Black parents, but when she would go to look at a house, it was available. When my dad would go look at a house, it was not available. All of a sudden, like, same day sometimes. And like, that plays a huge part. You're taking away a big advantage of, you know, somebody's upper mobility is owning a house, you know, equity, and having to be able to have the ability to loan against it for certain things like businesses and things like that. So yeah, that plays, I would argue personally, that's at least 60% of the equation. But, you know, I guess
that's what I
just
said last time. It's 60-40, right? 60-40, 60-40. That's the ratio. Oh, Destiny.
Hi.
Can we add Azzy Ohm? He's waiting in tier 4.
Okay, so
Young Don, introduce yourself real quick, yeah, so people know.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Young Don. Got a YouTube channel, Young Don Reborn. You know, yeah. So I just listening to the conversation, right? It sounds like trying to catch up. So on one hand, I'm hearing someone saying that we need to acknowledge, you know, the historical impacts of systematic racism and overt racism, right, on an individualistic level in history. And on the other hand, I'm hearing, you know, at the same time,
fucking come in at, oh god,
acknowledge that, but do something differently. I'm not quite sure what it is that we're even trying to accomplish with this conversation.
Yeah, so the issue is that some people, so Sophie is worried that if we constantly talk about systemic racism, you've essentially like created a group of people that do not have the ability to improve their conditions materially, because all they're going to be able to do is fixate on any either real or perceived injustice around them, and their ability to actually succeed in an environment where they might be able to succeed otherwise is going to be destroyed because of a victim mentality.
Okay. All right. And everybody here, what, generally disagrees, agrees? What's going on?
I think that there's more at play than just simply a victim mentality keeping Black people down, or specifically Black Americans. Like, I don't think Black Americans want to be in the economic and social position that they're in this country today. And so if it's just a matter of like, oh, we'll try harder, I think they would have already done it.
Nobody is saying it doesn't exist. It exists, but we need to be strong psychologically if we ever are going to have a chance to get over it.
I mean, I think
no point in walking through this world being like, oh, there's no matter what I'm going to do because it's only going to matter as half amount to what a white person does. There's no point walking around. You have to wake up in the morning and be like, yes, I'm strong. I can do this. I got to do this. And there's no point in focusing on the systemic racism because, like, if that's all you see, that's all you're going to be.
All right, so the problem I think with that, I mean, we need to just address this at an individualistic level. I mean, Black people aren't a monolith. Black people aren't all born into the exact same situation. You have black people that are born into extreme poverty where no one around them is educated, surrounded by like, violence and, no positive role models. And then you have black people who are born into like middle class environments. Of course, someone who is born into a middle class environment who never experiences any type of overt racism gets all the same, resources as their white counterparts. Their attitude or what you would tell them in order to succeed is going to be very different than the kid who was born into like poverty. And so
My main thing is my thing of the focus on identity is the main thing is that keeping us psychologically weak. That's the thing that is affecting us as a monolith. Okay. For me, particularly, that put me down a hell of a lot when I was young. When I figured out what systemic racism was, I got hella angry at everybody around me, and I had to get myself psychologically out of that trap. And that's what the liberal left are doing. They're perpetuating this weak mentality that keeps us victims to the systemic racism that does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but regardless of whether it exists or not, we still have to be prosperous.
Fancy, I feel like you're talking about some of the most like resilient communities psychologically when you talk about like Black Americans in terms of like taking just like a sober understanding of the amount of deprivation that like Black Americans
God.
have in their entire legacy within this country.
Well, 460 years worth of.
I brought that up. I said, listen,
God.
listen. Black men work themselves to death. 50% of us are in the labor force, and that
Oh, bitch.
or any of that. Like the pessimism is not holding you down. All it is, I'm saying, is that we need to start building our generational wealth. Like we can't just be looking at systemic racism and being like, yo, this is what it is. We have to do something about that. So we have to build our foundations first so that we can compete on the same equal levels as our white counterparts. And that means building values.
I always find it interesting how like Black people get into these like kind of conversations, when speaking as if like Black people are by any means this like united group of people that, are moving. Like we are so.
That's how the world treats us, right?
I mean,
there is a collective experience,
sure.
regardless of if it's different or not. There is something to learn about all of them.
Sure, like that's how the world treats us, but that isn't our experience. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I've been in like African and Caribbean. I even go into East Indian and West Indian. I see a lot of similarities in the way we present ourselves, the way we socialize. And we kind of have this faux Black experience where we all think we're aligned at a certain threshold, and the world kind of treats a certain way. To Fenty's point, like the way we are perceived and the way we interact with that perception affects the way across all economic thresholds. We all tend to have a uniquely set mindset about how we interact with the world. It's like if we were dealing with police, we're going to tell all dark-skinned people, and I've heard this from East Indian and West Indian, if you're dark-skinned and you deal with the police, they're going to treat you a certain way like they would treat an African-American person, because we're all Black in their eyes. This is when, and I think when Annalicia was attacking the Mexican, or Mexican have a unique experience where they are like truly American in certain circumstances. There's it's like, for instance, Steven it's like Cuban, but he's like German Cuban. I don't know. I'm not gonna assume, but he's Cuban. Well, Mexicans themselves, there's white Mexicans and there's brown Mexicans, but they're not uniquely a race in people's eyes, because they seem to be able to tote the line where they can choose between being white
Jesus.
or being Mexican in certain circumstances, and Black people can't do that.
I'm the Mexican that Anna
Christ.
was trying to like skin check me or whatever. I mean, I can't get into the nuances of this conversation with her, but I'd be glad to get into it with you. It's like, I've never pretended that like my experience as like a light-skinned Mexican woman, which I am. I know I'm light-skinned, and people think that there's like just ample opportunities for me to be like white passing in America. It's not been my experience. If you speak to other white passing like Hispanic people, maybe that has been their experience. Like recently I was in Austin, and there were multiple people who came up to me and tried, like white people who tried to speak to me in like broken Spanish, like they're assuming that I don't speak English at all, which is fine. But like that's one way that people perceive me to be non-white. And I recognize it again. Like since I'm white, I'm light-skinned Mexican. My proximity to whiteness is closer than that of like a darker-skinned Hispanic person or a black person. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to like incur all the benefits and privileges that like a white person has in this country. And I feel like Anna wants or thinks that I do, but it's just not
No,
true.
I
Like
don't think that at all. I don't think she was saying you are incurring the benefits. She's saying that you have access to benefits more than. I mean, she's inferring it without saying it. You have access to certain benefits that certain black people or black passing people, even if they're not even American black, even if they're not even black, but if they look black, they will not have access to those benefits. They will not have access to those rooms. They will not have access to those opportunities. What do you even see that?
No, wait. Again, you're doing this like general, like broad sweep. Like, are you insinuating like Jaden Smith is going to be treated the same way by police living in, Beverly Hills as, a dude living in a
Real quick on that. To some extent in the United States, yeah, unfortunately, right? So like, there was that.
You don't believe that Jaden Smith is gonna like get treated the same way as some like dude growing up in the hood of Chicago?
So
right?
do you remember that? Wait, hold on, wait. Do you remember the story of Henry Louis Gates?
Yep.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that guy was a Harvard professor, and I think he got arrested for breaking into his own house in a decently nice neighborhood, right? That's unfortunately kind of like part of the shitty experience sometimes of like being black in the United States. I don't know if that would have happened to a white guy. Or who was the guy? I don't remember the name of the guy that was just.
Treat you like a black person.
Yeah, or who was the guy? Who was the guy that was jogging that just got killed? The people just got
Ahmaud
killed.
Arbery.
Yeah.
Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, look at more recently, Ryan Coogler, director for Black Panther, right?
Yeah, but no, that situation, that's completely different. Like, if you actually, I have a podcast, we broke that story down. The dude literally handed a note. He ain't had a lineup in like 2 months. He was looking crazy.
And there's 44 over here. 44 campfires.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? That is a sketch thing. If I was the teller on the other side of that, I would be like, that sketch regardless of their race. Like this dude coming looking bummy, handing a note where his handwriting looked bad. He's like, oh yeah, put this money in this.
Gambino was smelling bad for like a good portion of his. He was looking bad and smelling bad for a good portion of his like career, and people treated him a certain way, but he wasn't like treated.
Band of base.
I'm talking specific.
For people saying it's misrepresenting that story, that story is pretty accurate. If you look at the video footage of the guy going to the bank, he actually does look pretty weird. That was the one where I was like,
dressed like how a normal person would dress, and then spoke with his mouth and said, hey, I would like to withdraw this money. Here's my identification. Here's my debit card. I don't think
And you know there's a problem with that, right? You know there's a problem with that, right? Like
no, there is.
Steven.
What?
Steven.
Why are you talking to me? What?
I need to tell you something. I never watched ABBA, so take that what you will. He's not my brown sugar, so work it out. I'm gonna catch you later.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot. Have fun. Be careful.
Hey, yo, peace and love, Fenty.
Bye.
Bye, Fenty.
Yeah, no, the greater point that I would make earlier, right, was that I'm not saying that black people, by and large, don't have a different experience than white people, regardless of your, social status or your financial status. But what I am saying is that all black people aren't in the exact same situation in every context, whether it's interacting with the police, whether it's the opportunities that are presented to you. And so what I'm saying is that we oftentimes speak in terms as if the solution is this one size fits all like broad issue for all black people when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but the one size, the broad brush is to fight the perception. It's not to fight the individuals, the diaspora of black people. It's not to fight that. Yeah, in reality, we're all different, and if we act a certain way, we're going to be treated a certain way. But we're not just dealing with reality in certain aspects. We're dealing with people's imaginations, their stereotypes or their implicit biases, right? And we can't. There's no specific stimuli. It's very hard to pinpoint how somebody subconsciously feels about us. But there are certain things we can do as a community over time. It's going to take a lot of time in order to fight those perceptions and those false imaginations. Like in order to fight racism, the concept of racism, race is a imaginary term, and if you go purely scientific. But we're dealing with beyond just like science. We're dealing with how people socialize with each other. So
but I think that's the issue. It's like we're trying to fight racism. Like it's too big and vague. You know what I'm saying?
It's been around for so long.
But I think
it's been around for so long. It's become a staple in how we deal with each other.
If you like look at individual situations, like look at a group of children in a very specific community, and let's address their needs on an individual level. You know what I mean? Like equip them with the knowledge they need. Maybe they do live in an over-policed environment where they are more likely to have a negative physical interaction with the police. All right, let's equip them with the knowledge and wisdom they need to handle that, but also let's give the resources to them that they need to lift themselves out of that. Like I think to the young lady whoever just left, I think she was the one who was speaking to the whole constant talk of systematic racism. I guess that might have been somewhat of what she was trying to speak to, is like just the generally speaking these generalized terms about let's fight racism. It's like to me it's like a nothing conversation that goes nowhere.
It can go somewhere if we stop trying to use mitigated like academic terminology to purely just like we have this thing of like trying to use data to get rid of how people get rid of the stigma of how people or the full realities of how people deal with each other, right? Like we try to get rid of like how people socialize by saying, oh, it's not really how we socialize because the data says otherwise. And it's kind of like, I think it's kind of it shows our lack of grassroots engagement, and it shows a lack of I'm lacking words on this. It shows our lack of I don't want to say ignorance, but I'm gonna say it. You sound kind of ignorant when you go straight to the data and say like, I'll say this to Annalicia too. And I'm sorry, straight away. I'm gonna say this to you too. You sound kind of ignorant of what's going on in the realities between.
What data have I mentioned?
No, I'm not talking about you, Don. But okay. I'm saying we can have this conversation, but we need to stay within the realms of this conversation and not try to insert data or insert what we believe and how we feel, and just deal with what we're talking about. And if you haven't had this experience, like we were trying to discount, not me, but you guys were trying to discount each other based upon your experiences instead of just dealing with the set experiences of the situation, which can be seen globally. So, and that's a problem, because then you're gonna get into this nothing of a conversation like Don, you're talking about, Don. We're trying to just insert. It's like I'm a Muslim and I'm trying to talk about like the Christian, or I'm a Christian. I'm trying to bring in a Muslim doctrine, and it has nothing to do with each other. Now we're trying to discount each other, and it becomes like a shouting match.
Look, it became a shouting match because there's some context missing from that conversation, because I've engaged with Anna multiple times before, and the only reason why data had to be inserted into in that particular conversation is because she has no understanding or is reckless or is not careful enough to properly contextualize or like understand the stats that she's citing. So I'm sure you've heard the saying that like
I comprehend the way she uses her stats, and the way I comprehend them the same way. I just wouldn't engage in a conversation the way she deals with it. I think the way she deals with conversation affects our perception of the way she's using the statistics.
Can you repeat that last?
As in, I, as a viewer, understand everything she was talking about in an academic, because in my academic journey, I dealt with a lot of the same data points that she was talking about, and in class and in conversation and in life, and I can understand them and comprehend them in a certain way. But I think that we are engaging with her in a certain way because she's like bold and reckless, and she's mean and rude.
Well, I mean, I just don't like when she tries to bring up my skin color and like race as a means to dismiss like my points or like not engage with my arguments, because she's done that to me multiple times.
That's her being rude.
And then the conversation gets derailed from there because one, she was complaining that people were making assumptions about her background, but she was just like fine to call me white, and she has no knowledge about like my background or my understanding. And white is not the experience that I would describe having in my life or like in this country or like ever.
Yeah,
and
but I would say it's lazy. I'm interrupting you, but I want to get into this after you.
Well, just that. Like I'm trying. The only reason why numbers entered the conversation is because if she's going to bring up stats and then she presents them in a way that's misleading or false entirely, then I feel like somebody should bring up the fact that like, hey, what she just said and like the things that she's trying to cite were incorrect, wrong, miscontextualized, misleading. And then when I was pushing her to like, okay, if you disagree with like my rebuttal, then what are you citing or what? And she told me to do my own homework.
I think because you guys already had this conversation, and she did cite, and we came to the conclusion, or she came to the conclusion, which you did not accept, is that your study that you brought that said that the absenteeism is a stereotype. She said the studies you brought up is only particularly dealing with individuals who are actively in their families, not the sort of active or the truly absent. So like the individuals who are the most active was I clear in what I said?
Kind of. Is that my problem is that she always wants to conflate in these conversations being unmarried with being absent, and that's not the same thing.
Yeah, but you kind of did it. Well, okay, so you can't be truly married if you're absent, and you can't grow a good family network if you're absent. I'm sure Jason and Don would agree. I think we all would agree.
You're not capturing the spirit of that.
Men.
You're not capturing the spirit
And I
of
said
that union.
Black a while ago, so maybe that's sneaking.
Well, I agree that if you're technically married on paper, right, but you live apart, you're not cohabitating, or you have limited contact, or it's disrupted in that way, I agree that that's going to be the on-the-ground experience. But in terms of like how the CDC will collect data on Black families in America, they're not going to know the nuances and background of each individual married and unmarried Black person. They're going to count a Black family or a Black couple that's married with issues and not even living together, that's like entirely separated even, in the same way that they would categorize a married, successful Black family, because that's just not what that data set allows for.
So then it's our responsibility to add that nuance to the conversation. It's our responsibility to use that data responsibly, not use it to counteract. Yeah, just because then you're gonna get into the arguments that you're gonna get into, and we already know who Anna is. And this is my gripe with the way we have these conversations, or like we dealt with redacted, the two redacted people that we shall not name. The way we engage with them is emboldening them to be more of themselves, and we're unapologetically ourselves. So allow them to be unapologetically themselves, and just ignore the. I'm pretty sure we can be better people. We can be adults.
Oh, totally. But I feel like
people choose to roll around in the mud.
I agree, but I feel like Anna is kind of the one who like derails these conversations. Like she literally derailed that entire conversation because she just had to insert that I'm white, but I'm not white. And just like me even trying to correct her on that.
I'm not saying you don't have to ignore it, but I'm like, you can engage in that instead of just asking her like questions to clarify. Just say I'm not white and I have circumstances that prove that I'm not white, and just move on. Like, I'm pretty sure that the conversation Destiny had yesterday with Anna, the lead attorney, and Alex on that red pill, and it was a pretty. They were able to come to certain conclusions because they were just being good faith and just holding each other accountable instead of just asking each other questions that leads nowhere.
She repeatedly asserted that I was white. Like I feel like you're kind of downplaying how much it derailed the conversation. Like, what if somebody was telling you that you weren't Black?
Who is this Anna chick? Like, what in terms of like why she's gone now, right?
Yeah, she is, but she's a big memer in my community.
Oh, man, she's become another head. She's replaced redacted.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know if we're doing this like Young and the Restless thing right now, or are we gonna like talk about Black people? I'm just like.
I want to talk about Black people. But I would say it's the straighter aid in a social circumstance. If we weren't on a public platform, I would say, you sound a little iffy here. The way you're dealing with this. Yeah, Black absenteeism is kind of big, and there's a lot of individuals.
One would deny that, but the absenteeism of Black men in the homes is like the primary reason why the black community is exactly where it is today. You know, I think it's all about the fact that, you know, we have fatherless homes and things of that nature. I personally wouldn't disagree with that. If that's her stance, then yeah, she didn't know what she's talking about. But like,
so then, Strader, you're saying it's so now I want to engage with this, right?
Yeah.
And John has also agreed that is a primary. I would say maybe number one, maybe number two. You can say systems, but you know we can only deal with systems so much. We can only deal. I'm gonna be the Angela Rye and say we got to deal with. We can engage with the system, but we can't be fully divested and we can't be fully invested in the system. There has to be both ways. We have to go both ways in this. So,
I agree, but I think that Anna was the one derailing, not me.
If we're talking about black families, the system isn't in the household, right? When we come home, the system stops at the door, right? We may bring in the emotions of how we feel about the system, you know, and the amount of money we bring in and the food we eat, but the family itself, we're still human beings at the end of the day.
Can it be said that the system kind of makes the family though, especially talking about black people? If you have policies where, you know, like for instance, black people were denied housing, so you know they all went to these projects and things. They're like, hey guys, you come stay over here. It's, you know, it's close to the factory jobs that your husbands or whatever have. And then like bullshit happens. Oh well, black people can't stay.
But those poor people in the Caribbean seem to be the happiest go lucky people forever. Even though they have all the crime, all those mobs, all the gang, they can still be they still have a good family unit. And I may not know what I'm talking about, but when I go there and I have friends who go there who have family there, their family unit is tight. Maybe I'm just talking to people and my perception is colored. I'm just talking to people who have good family units there.
It varies. I grew up in Jamaica, right? So it varies. You definitely have homes that are still together, and then you have, you know, I grew up in a divorced parents. So yeah, you know, it just varies. But yeah, like anywhere else.
All right. But so then, are you gonna blame the system that those families are we going to say the system is the reason why the family is broken?
Absolutely. Like if black fathers can't stay here,
we're gonna get into gay people on TV is breaking the nuclear family, and
well, it's like, you know,
I think that's an interesting road to go down, right? Because yeah, we see broken families in places like Jamaica that isn't ruled by, you know, white supremacy, right? It's like 99% black people in Jamaica, and then, you know. So yeah, and then we have broken families here in America. I think you can argue, however, though, in America, you did have things like, you know, the crack epidemic and you know, and the 3 strikes rule, and you know, it's a different thing. But I think at the heart of it, why the issues persist to this day is just a lack of biblical values. I think if we go back to there, I think that is the solution to everything. I believe, you know.
And I agree with you as a fellow Christian, right? Because you know we have conversations like. I agree with you, but I also want to say that we were there at one point, and it led up to this, right? We were there where Christian values was number one, but was it really? I don't really think. I think our progressive understanding.
Are you saying that Christian values led to black people being in the position they are today?
No, I think people misusing Christian values are not truly understanding Christian values. I don't think. I only think the minority of people truly understand. I only think the minority of people will truly understand what it means to be truly Christian. Because even today, the Pew Research says 50% of people who go to church are actually Christian.
Yeah, no, definitely not everybody who goes to church is actually a devout Christian. No doubt about that. You know, you can say that by
there was a separation of church and state for a reason. You know, only so many people can understand what it truly means to be Christian, right? And I would say, yeah, put those people. We saw during the civil rights, you know, people who truly believed what they believed. You know, in Islam and in Christianity, or the only people who truly believe it are going to be our leaders.
No,
the rest of us aren't going to be.
All right, let Young John respond. Yeah, go.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I actually think the civil rights movement was one of the biggest things that hurt the black Christian community, you know, because much like we see with the prosperity gospel today, we saw a corruption of the gospel for the sake of pushing, you know, activism. You know, black activism, trying to paint Jesus Christ as some kind of a civil rights leader. That is essentially what they did, perverting the gospel. And I think that is a big part of the reason why, you know, black people, you know, are not yielding the peace and unity they should be yielding from the Bible, because they were misled by activists who take the Bible, pervert it for the sake of pushing their own agendas. And so I actually think, I don't think Martin Luther King, for instance, was like a great Christian pastor. You know what I mean? He was a great civil rights advocate, but I don't believe that he actually, you know, I listen to his speaking. I don't hear a lot of the gospel in his speaking. I don't hear a lot of talking about hell and the eternal damnation that all of us are at risk at suffering. You know, if
Warnock, I don't see Warnock. So even Christian people, I go to a African Methodist Episcopalian church, heavily involved in politics. I believe my pastor, Reverend Flake, was either in Congress or Senate at one point, and he was a pastor. They don't go to people who are non-Christian and start talking about start talking about the scriptures, or start talking about, they deal with politics. Right?
Yeah,
and they deal with
right, because
they deal with a social Christian ethic, of course. Like, I can bring up
you would agree as a Christian then, right, that the greatest threat to all of mankind, including you know, black people, is the fact that we all are going to die, and then after we die, we are judged, and upon judgment,
the reward we get in heaven is what we use, how we deal with the life we have today. So we have to start talking about things we're going to deal with. You know, how are we going to deal with life today? And I believe the family, we can both agree, the family is probably one of the most important things that we can, as human beings, engage with today.
I mean, the Bible says, "Seek the Lord, and all else shall follow." If we address it.
Seek ye, I understand. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be given to you. All things will be, everything else will follow.
Let me ask you this: like, what good would it be for Dr. Martin Luther King to talk about hell when black people are already living in hell? Like, you living in you're not.
If you read the Bible, hell is a much different place than Black America, brother.
Right, but I'm here living now. Like, I want to affect my living, you know, right now. Like, I'm already living in hell in the system. I can't vote, so I'm not a real citizen. I'm paying taxes. I get, you know, people can do whatever they want to me on the street, drag me out of my house, hang me up on a tree, and all this. Is like, that is hell. Like, I want to change this now. I can't change the biblical hell.
Yeah, but let me put it to you like this: you think when you come before the throne of God, you are going to be judged, and it's going to be decided whether or not you're going to live forever in the lake of fire? You think you're going to care that you didn't get a chance to vote?
Only resonates with people who truly fear.
You think you're going to care that you couldn't vote? You're about to spend eternity in heaven because you followed Jesus. Who cares if you vote? Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do our best to try and resolve issues here on earth. Obviously, we got to eat, we got to sleep, we got to do our thing. I feel that, but
even Jesus said, "Give ye to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give to God what is God." So that is implying you're dealing with the system. You have to deal with the system, and you give to the system. You need to be able to deal with the system accurately.
What the Bible says is that we are supposed to obey authority, because all authority in the earthly realm has been permitted by God. No one is in power that hasn't been permitted to be in power by God. For some,
of course, yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to be Christ-like. Christ was a big disobeyer of the earthly part.
I'm confused. What are you trying to talk about, Don? What are you trying to get at?
I mean, initially we were talking about, you know, what does Black America need to do in order to, you know, see progress, right? Is that what we're talking about? See more progress?
We were talking about the Black family. So straight away, I'm just to make sure. Let's make sure.
All right, so let's talk about the Black family.
We're talking about the Black family, or just talk about Black people in general?
I'm cool with talking. Yeah, let's get specific. Let's talk about the Black family.
Because that's what Annalicia, excuse me, because I don't want her, you know, I friended her on Instagram. I gotta be charitable.
Nice.
Annalicia is saying black men, and she's putting all the onus on black men, and she's saying black women at large are trying to do the best they can do, and black men aren't following suit. And I think, and yeah, all right, I'm gonna say my piece after that. I think that's the conversation that we're trying to have. Is it, what does a black family need to do, and whose fault is it, or not even fault? What do men and women in the black family have to do in order to make it better?
They need to give their lives to Jesus Christ.
Agreed, but
we absolutely have to get political. We absolutely have to vote. I mean, black turnout in Louisiana, for instance, was like, I think only 10%. Only 10% of black registered voters went out to vote. That's abysmal. We absolutely have to get out.
The black church is going to tell you to vote.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. How the black church has been corrupted by politicians for the sake.
No.
Yeah, that's what I believe. What's the name of that one black governor lady? Is it Stacey Adams?
Stacey Abrams.
Abrams, right? Who tried to use the gospel to support abortion. That's what the black church, and there were these two very famous black pastors on the East Coast that were co-signing it, trying to say that a woman's right to choose is biblical. And that is what has happened to the black church, unfortunately, when it dances with politics.
But that's not necessarily a problem, because we all have free will. We all have free will. Free will is biblical.
What do you mean it's not a problem? What do you mean abortion's not a problem?
It is a problem. Abortion is a problem. More black babies are being aborted in New York than being born. Yes, that is a problem.
Right.
But the choice to have abortion existed before it was legally legislated. Before it was codified in law, abortion existed. It was always a problem, but people still always had a choice to it.
Sure.
Wait, can I cut in here?
We have the choice to kill each other. I'm all for, the American people voting on, deciding on whether or not they want abortion to be on the table. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the church. This is an in-house issue, and there should be no debate within the church on where we stand on abortion. And that is my problem when we talk about, like politicians and the black church.
We all have a choice to choose Jesus or not. We have a choice to do whatever we want. That's the power of being. We have a choice to choose. This is what I'm trying to, and I have a conversation with my father.
All right, go ahead. Wait.
My father is,
Before you go, I wanna just make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, we don't talk about the same thing. Abortion affects the black family just as much as.
Okay, so I want. All right. Okay, wait.
Does everyone else want to talk about that?
Wait, can I cut in really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, like I was raised Catholic, so I was drilled on a lot of like the catechism. I know about all of this stuff. Like specifically, what scripture says that abortion is like sinful?
The book of Exodus says, "Thou shalt not murder."
But murder.
Okay, so you're gonna conflate it with that. Okay, but like beyond that.
I mean,
do you really think that a lack of religiosity within the black community explains systemic racism? Because black Americans are some of the most religious Americans.
That is, what do you mean by religious?
What they identify themselves as Christian. They go to church.
Don is saying that the religious introduction to black people was kind of corrupted, or was only used as like a socio-political tool, and they're not following it in the way that a Christian ought to, I think is what his argument is. So even if a lot of them identify as Christian or go to church, they're not following like the teachings of Christ.
Okay, but like other demographics within this country have been seeing like a steady decline in religiosity and are becoming more secular, and they don't have the same issues that like black community is facing right now. So I'm not. I wonder like why you think it's like religion that's undergirding all of this, all of these issues.
Okay, so the Bible says, right, that if you give your life to Jesus, right, you will have the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will take residence within you, and you will not desire to do what is wicked and evil, and you will start to desire the ways of the Lord. And the way of the Lord says, "Thou shalt not murder." And so, if you want to see less abortions, more Christian black women will not be aborting their babies. We've seen a decline of black people in the church in general. We've seen an increase of false prophets and false teachers within the church, especially in the black community. We've seen the proliferation of the prosperity gospel, which does not tell you about hell, which does not tell you about your sin, but instead wants to tell you how Jesus can make everything all better and make you rich and successful and give you everything you want in the world. these are the reasons why things like abortion are being rampant in the black community. If you're trying to tell me that you have black people going to church, praying every day, reading their Bible, and then going the next day shooting up the block or aborting their babies, that is not happening. That is not happening.
The only pushback I have on this is this has always been the problem, even at the onset of the church, even when Jesus was around. This has always been a problem.
Didn't the most fervent Christians burn down Muslim cities?
David was
torturing
sending people. King David was sending people to their death to have people's wives. We can go through all the. I feel like I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. I feel like the reasons why the only way we could get to that if people truly understood what it meant to live by grace. And I think that just goes beyond the spirituality of it. I think people naturally don't show each other grace. And in order to do that, and I believe Jesus is going to be a big impact in order to do that.
Let me ask you if you agree with this. Do you agree with this? Do you believe that abortion is wrong? Let me ask you that first.
Yeah, I believe the act of abortion is wrong.
Okay. Would you agree that if someone came to have a genuine relationship with Jesus, they will now become much less likely to want to have an abortion?
Yeah, I don't think that gets rid of they can still have an abortion.
Sure.
They still might have an abortion even though they might be the most Jesus-loving person in the world.
Yes.
Because the fallen state of humanity, we're still in the flesh, Don. So we gotta,
Wait, see, all right. So this is what I would appreciate. Don't talk over me.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that yes, everyone is capable of sinning, right? You brought up some excellent examples with King David, right? He committed adultery and murder, right, with Bathsheba. We know this. Becoming a Christian doesn't mean you become a perfect person. You know what I mean? However, my question is, does getting to know Jesus, right, and having the Holy Spirit dwell within you, does that reduce the likelihood of you committing certain sins, like murder? I believe it does.
Yeah.
And so if it does, if the question is, how do we have less abortions happen if we had more Christian men and women?
Well, you keep conflating like murder and abortion, but those are not the same things. Like that was why I asked you to cite scripture that said anything about abortion. Abortion is a relatively recent term. Even within Catholic doctrine, it's understood to be this thing called like the quickening, not
pedophilia
death
isn't
even.
in the Bible either. I'm sure you don't believe that pedophilia is co-signed by Jesus.
Well, I'm not religious. I don't practice my religion anymore. I would consider myself atheist. But just kind of on that, like I can't speak to religious institutions or trying to guide those because those are internal structures that I'm not a part of, that I have no influence of, that are usually kind of authoritarian and top down. Like at least in the Catholic Church, like the Pope is going to decide the way that the Catholic Church is going to be structured and organized. So I can only bring it back to like policy, the government, which is all going to be secular. But like to be fair, so if you think like, to move off the abortion point, because I don't really like abortion arguments, like if you think abortion is murder, do you think that like women black women who are getting abortions should go to jail for murder?
Wait, so you asked me, let's talk about whether or not abortion is spoken of in the Bible, right? So the Bible says that we were knitted together in the wombs of our mothers, which suggests that our personhood begins within the womb. Secondly, we have to define, okay, what is murder, right? Murdering is, we can agree, killing somebody.
For those who want more out of every moment this summer, Mazda has more 2025 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand as of May 2025. What more could you ask for? Discover how Mazda has more to move you today. Visit IIHS.org to learn more.
Is that murder to kill somebody?
Well, just as a real quick aside on this, because the Bible's not going to talk about like abortion being immoral, right? Like, if your wife is unfaithful and she gets pregnant by another person, like the Bible has a description for literally ordering that woman to have an abortion, which seems strange that you would murder a baby if it's caused by infidelity. So I don't think the Bible considers abortion to be murder.
Wait. Stephen, you would have to show me. quote me that verse just so I can be sure what you're talking about. You're saying that the Bible says if a woman becomes pregnant as a result of adultery, the baby should be aborted?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You gotta like send me that verse.
Gotcha. Okay, so Numbers chapter 5, verses 11 through 31. I'm gonna speed run this super quick. So the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, if a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him, so that another man has sexual relations with her, and this is hidden from her husband, and her impurity is undetected, since there's no witness against her, and she has not been caught in the act, and if feelings of jealousy come over her husband, and he suspects his wife and she is impure, or if he is jealous and suspects her, even though she is not impure, then he is to take his wife to the priest. He must also take an offering of 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour on her behalf. He must not pour olive oil on it or put incense on it, because it is a grain offering for jealousy, a reminder offering to draw attention to wrongdoing. The priest shall bring her and have her stand before the Lord. Then he shall take some holy water in a clay jar and put some dust from the tabernacle floor into the water. After the priest has had the woman stand before the Lord, he shall loosen her hair and place in her hands the reminder offering, the grain offering for jealousy, while he himself holds the bitter water that brings a curse. Then the priest shall put the woman under oath and say to her, if no other man has had sexual relations with you, and if you have not gone astray and become impure while married to your husband, may this bitter water that brings you a curse not harm you. But if you have gone astray while married to your husband, and you have made yourself impure by having sexual relations with a man other than your husband, here the priest is to put the woman under this curse. May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when he makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell. May this water that brings a curse enter your body so that your abdomen swells or your womb miscarries. Then the woman is to say, Amen, so be it. So this is like a literal order from a priest saying that if you are engaged in infidelity, you get pregnant, then they give you like a curse water offering essentially to cause you to miscarry.
Okay, and so, and what is your argument based on that verse?
I'm just saying that it's a reach in the Bible to say thou shalt not kill or thou shalt not murder extends to fetuses, when I don't think in the Bible like.
Okay, all right. So thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder. So you're speaking about a specific instance under which a crime was committed, right?
Infidelity, correct. Okay,
all right. And you are that verse. Now you read that pretty quickly, but what did it sounded as if this was some sort of a like a spiritual ritual. Like it wasn't, if again I would have to read it for myself, but it didn't sound as if the baby was guaranteed to die, right? Only if the
woman committed infidelity. Yeah.
No, it's a bitter tonic made to, because they considered it like a curse to alleviate the curse. If you were raped and something and the baby was, let me just go through this. Go ahead. I'm gonna make sure my words are together.
Go ahead and explain it to me, because I just before I want to say anything, I want to make sure I understand what is being said, right? So
you drink the water brings a curse, and the bitter suffering will enter her. And if the offering is burnt, and if the woman has made herself impure and unfaithful to her husband, and then this will be the result. It's gonna bring a curse. It's gonna cause suffering, and her babies, and she's gonna miscarry.
Okay.
So if she's had sex out of her marriage, she's been unfaithful to her partner, the water is made to create it's like an abortion tonic.
Right.
And it's there to, it's there in the instance of infidelity.
And so clarify this for me. So are you saying that in the instance where she did not commit adultery, but the husband is suspicious that she committed adultery and got pregnant as a result of adultery, this same procedure would be undertaken, right?
Yeah, but God would protect the woman from the curse if she wasn't infidelity-ish, whatever the fuck word is.
Okay, all right. So, just from my understanding of that alone, it sounds as if it is God that would be the one that would be terminating the pregnancy, right?
Well, yeah.
Like, so
yes.
if a woman didn't commit adultery, her husband suspects that happened, and she's given a tonic, right? The baby would not die, right? That's what the verse is arguing.
God would protect the baby.
Okay.
From the abortion tonic.
Okay. All right. So, one, in that instance, right, the Bible is suggesting that in this situation, God is the one who decides whether or not this baby lives or dies, and it is based on whether or not the mother committed adultery, right, and brought the
but
baby.
the one who decides if the lady lives or dies is essentially the mother, because if she committed adultery, that baby's gonzo.
Right, if it is found out that she committed a crime. And so, but I don't see how this discounts the fact that that baby is a person or is alive.
Why would God kill a child just because of the sins of the parent?
Yeah,
Okay.
you want.
You have to understand, right? So death, the way how we perceive death is not the way how death is communicated in the Bible, right? Death is not punishment. Punishment comes after. Death is essentially being removed from this earthly realm and being brought before the Father. Now, a baby that has not had a chance to live life and exercise faith in God is going to be living in paradise for all of eternity alongside God. As a Christian, this is what you believe, and you believe the Bible.
Well, damn. I mean, the baby didn't even get like a baptism or anything. Like he's going to be not even born. He still has original sin and everything. You really think that's like a preferable outcome?
Original sin is a
As a Catholic thing.
Is Catholic.
Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
That's not in the Bible.
Yeah.
So there's that. So
Well, if that's the case, then shouldn't all abortion then be chill? Like any baby you abort automatically goes to heaven and is like basically big chillin'?
but,
Or?
okay, but in this situation, I'm saying it is God who makes a decision. It's God who makes a choice, and God, God cannot commit murder.
So you're saying some
So
abortions
then, yeah,
are okay?
this is in the confine. So Don, this is in the con. Oh, go ahead, because I'm gonna go.
Murder is
go on.
murder, right? Murder is the unjust taking away of the life of a being that was created in the image of God, right?
And you're
We-
saying like a bastard child deserves to be aborted?
No, what I am saying is that God has every right to give life and take life at his discretion. That is completely different than us making an independent decision, right, to end the life of somebody else who was made in the image of God.
Then can I say
But
that just going back to something that you said earlier where you were saying that you didn't like MLK's particular interpretation of scripture and how he used it for his political ends, I agree with you, and for the exact reason that this conversation is even happening, because we could go back and forth all day over your interpretation of scripture, over the Old Testament, the New Testament, Catholicism, and we really should like remove religiosity from these conversations entirely, because we are living in a like liberal secular democracy, and the insertion of religion in politics and policy to begin with is inappropriate because of these reasons, because there's way too much disagreement, and there's a lack of consensus among like how to interpret scripture. It's not for lack of Bible literacy that Black Americans find themselves in these situations, or that abortion is legal or not illegal. Like really, Republicans are not getting rid of the right to choose to have an abortion or not because of scripture.
And Don, I think before you go, Don,
Truth, right?
Andrew,
wait. Just because multiple people choose to interpret the Bible differently doesn't mean that there isn't an actual accurate interpretation.
I know, but everybody's going to say that they have the right interpretation. That's why government needs to be secular, and like there needs to be separation of church and state because of this reason exactly.
Well, one, the separation of church and state was established for the sake of keeping politics out of the church, not church out of politics. So that's one. Secondly,
Wait, that's hold on. Just to be clear, that's absolutely not true. We literally just came from the monarchy in England and everything. It wasn't
true. I think both can be true.
No, all right. Explain to me, Destiny, why what I just said is incorrect.
For a couple of things. So firstly, there are multiple times in the Bible, Genshin spoke of one of them. There are multiple times in the Bible where Jesus compels us to follow the laws of the lands that we live in. Render unto Caesar what is his, right? And also, when the United States was coming from England and we were declaring our independence and everything, I'm pretty sure we didn't want like the Church of England, like that type of like state religious institution to be a part of our government. It was part of ensuring like religious freedoms in the United States. I don't think it was because we wanted to keep politics out of the church.
I mean, Destiny, come on, bro. Where do you think we get our laws from in regards to like, not murdering, not kidnapping? All of these these are laws, these are morals that were established by the Bible. These are morals that were
Hold on, wait. First of all, they're not established by the Bible. These have been laws that civilizations have abided by for 10,000 years. So it's not the first time in the Bible that these showed up, right?
Not universal. Right? There have always been civilizations that had a more what's the word? For every man for themselves, Wild West type of situation. Not every single culture has been ruled under the rules of like, murder is wrong, right? Not that is just not true.
They did have certain laws. If you murdered somebody, they had laws in in civilizations that had laws on murder.
Okay.
They punished murder. So I'm only saying that God has. We all understand that God has all given us an individual conscience. which is why we can't. That no one can say Jesus is not real, or say because I haven't heard about Christianity, it's not fair that I can't go to heaven or hell. We've all been given this moral conscience, but I just want to push this and say that yes, people have strayed from the original morality that was given, but our morals still have been codified into law, even though our original morals came from, like me and you believe they came from God.
Right.
We have taken those morals and kind of changed them over ever so slightly to fit our own narratives and our own self-benefit. And I think that happens to all of us. That's why there's the forever endeavor to be more like God by studying the scriptures and stuff. Yeah, we understand that. And for those who don't study the scriptures, they can still have those same morals, but they're not going to have the same understanding that those who study the scriptures are going to have, which is why it's harder to take scriptures and talk to people who are not accountable to us, or accountable to our scriptures. And that's why it was MLK and all. That's why MLK and even all religious figures, they don't go and start using their scriptures to try to dictate what people should do, based upon what they believe. They say what even
Based on what they believe.
How do you interpret the scriptures? What do you believe? He didn't start taking what he believed and start pushing on other people. He gave them a chance to.
So you, the question, right? We started with the premise. You asked me, what is the solution to the problem in the black community? I gave you a very simple answer: Jesus Christ, right?
And I agree. And then I would push it even further and say, we need to have more faith in Jesus. Not because there's plenty of people.
Need to have more faith in Jesus.
Do the Destiny thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, you've been talking for like last 20 minutes.
Do the Destiny thing.
Go ahead.
I want to have to do that. Okay. All right. So, the conversation shifted when Straighterade.
Yeah.
Is that what you go by?
Oh yeah.
That's me.
She's a slippery one.
Yeah. Straighterade. Kind of switched the conversation.
Oh, silicone block.
Okay, like abortion in the context of the Bible, and that's a whole different conversation, right?
Yeah, I really regret doing that. I didn't know it was going to lead to an abortion debate. I hate abortion debate.
Yeah, no, my fans have been wanting me to talk to Destiny about abortion anyway. But the point is, I think the solution to the problems that the black community is facing right now is faith in and obedience to Yah and to Jesus.
Okay, I disagree. I promise you that the reason that Black Americans are in the economic and social positions that they are today has very little to do with religiosity at this point, or like a failure to interpret scripture properly.
What do you mean by religiosity?
Being religious.
Being religious. High belief in God or whatever.
Okay, and what is your definition of being religious?
Adhering to the tenets of the Christian church in general, man. Just all that, like following the 10 Commandments. Following the teachings of Christ, just that. That's pretty much Christianity in a nutshell, right?
Okay, and what is your evidence that obeying the laws of God and
you place out a powerful general
yield a better situation for the black community today?
Because we were doing that all throughout slavery. Like Christianity was forced down our throats. Like that was the only book we were allowed to.
Okay, that's boring. Make a whole bunch of something. A lot of spice. Upload spice. Yeah, but I just gotta get off before they kick me. It's 9 days. 2 days. Oh shit. Stick it on there for now. Oh. That's it.